morning, college and high school football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. This is a special day because, well, championship week has basically already begun, and we are ready, so close to not only crowning our champions, all of them, but getting that bracket that we have been waiting for this whole season. We wait every year, right, for those brackets, and, well, at least the FBS bracket. And now, we finally get a 12-team playoff where we know this year we may just get the for real champion. Well, we'll find out. But that bracket is so close to being completely filled out after today. 3 champions crowned last night. With NJCAA champ one step closer from getting there. Who will they face? Good old Iowa Western made their deal. They are in. Now it's up to Hutchinson and Georgia Military in the NJCAA. In the 3C2A, well, and then there were 4, and you better believe it. 1 and 2, Riverside, or Mount San Antonio Riverside. Yep, they're in it. Division 3 bracket heating up. Division 2 bracket, NAIA coming your way. FCS, all the goodies. And oh yeah, Mater Day. Remember, guys? Remember Mater Day. And De La Salle, guess what? We got it. You are listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio. Good directing for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Cheers to you this morning. Big cup of coffee ready to go because, you know, we got a lot of football to get into. This show, I can't remember the last time it went under 2 hours. I mean, we just really get it. That's what we do. That's how it works. That's how important football is. That's how much we love the game. It's just one of those things. So deal with it. What's going on, everybody? Once again, welcome to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Last 10 years, we've been getting it. Thank you guys so very much for coming on, being a part of this, whether you've been a part of us for the last 10 years, 7 years, 5 years, last year, this is your first show. It doesn't matter. We appreciate you all. We thank you. And we just want to say thank you for all your support. Give us a follow, all these great places down here. Of course, Seal the Deal Wax Seals, my beautiful wife, her awesome company down here. Christmas is coming, guys. Seal Wax Stamp. She's over there working hard, doing her thing. So make sure you order your little seals there. Really cool wax stamps for all of your gifts and stuff. So she's got that on lock over there as well. It's Planet Jerky, premium brisket beef jerky. Great jerky. Make sure to check out planetjerky.net. And we are good, guys. So there you have it, man. We got a lot to get into today. Like I said, there's so much to get into. But before we do any of that, I must introduce my dude, man. He is IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer, host of Set Point, which, let me tell you, Set Point is really heating up right now, man. He's the tournament, the NCAA women's tournament is really going. Damn it, USC. It's okay, though. At least they weren't such a letdown like the football team was. I mean, I guess beating UCLA was decent. But anyway, whatever. Great stuff, man. I mean, today we have a run for history in Division III volleyball, some Division II getting ready to be played in that bracket. I mean, the 3C2A championship is all but set. We got 2 teams. We got some crazy news about that in a little bit. Just a little tidbit of fun information. Oh, yeah, guys. The world of volleyball is big. And with this guy over here, well, it's even bigger. And, of course, all of your SoCal needs, the SoCal Spring Sports Show, covering all the goodies in SoCal. I had a great show yesterday, man, covering everything in SoCal. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy, Mr. Teran Rodriguez. What's going on, brother? Glad to have you, man.
Hey, Larry B. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you. And, yeah, the NCAA Women's Volleyball Tournament is heating up. Division III has its final tomorrow, as it's going to be Juniata versus Wisconsin Whitewater, 2 schools that we're kind of familiar with. So, yeah, and it is heating up all over the place.
Darren,
we're here to talk college football.
Oh, we are, but Wisconsin Whitewater had a very hard year in football. You know that. Very hard year. Is it wrong of me? Because I love me some Warhawks. I love some Warhawks. I love to cheer those guys on. I love their mascot. Their colors are cool. That purple. But Taryn, is it wrong for me to cheer for history with Juniata? Is it wrong? Is it wrong?
No, not really. I mean, Juniata has looked a little human, having nearly gotten swept by Hope, which was its rematch from last year.
Well, Taryn, let me just say, man. If they win it, though, this is a three-peat. You said 95 games.
96 now.
96 in the freaking regular season. That streak is – Taryn, that's 96 amazing.
Overall, including the postseason. I think this spans from 3 years.
Can anyone beat them?
Perhaps.
We'll find out. But, man, that's crazy. Anyway, guys, all that's coming up. We got all kinds of goodies, man, here. The football world is here. Taryn, we've got some crazy stuff to get into, dude. Like, crazy, man. put the coffee down over there because we got to get crazy. But Teran, I'll tell you, man, we have seen some stuff this year. We always do, right? It seems to get crazier. Big ups, of course, to everybody in the chat, man. Gen B, we appreciate you so much. Yes, Ashlyn had a great run. Yes, unfortunately, they were eliminated. But hey, look at Avon Eagles win their first ever high school state championship. Good job to them, man. They won. Oh, that's cool. And they're both the same colors. Go Eagles. Of course, that's right. Mount Union. Well, must I say, last night, after your great show, Teran, I was on the Yinza Report with Mr. Ralph Calise right here. And you know what's crazy? He, obviously, I was bringing some Division III football his way. And these guys right here, the Purple Raiders of Mount Union, I think we know just a little bit about these guys, right, Teran? Just a little tad, you know. Yesterday, I had to bring some D3 on to the Yinza Report. And Teran, I had to tell good old Ralph Calise all about Carnegie Mellon and this amazing run they've had this year. And Teran, they did it. Teran, they made it all the way, dude. Well, not all the way, but they have made it to the rounds that are really scary because today Carnegie Mellon will be taking on Mount Union. Dude, I told Ralph, if they take down the Purple Raiders, not only will that be huge for the city of Pittsburgh because that is a giant, you are knocking down a giant. But it's kind of funny because if you think about it, it really is Browns versus Steelers. Which is kind of funny. So I'm just saying, and those two cities will find any way to hate each other. It could be an arm wrestling tournament. You know, I mean, it is what it is, you know. So, and of course, today, that's right, Big Ten Championship. We got championships. Today is the day, guys. It's championship weekend. We have 3 champions crowned already. We'll get into those in just a few minutes. But Teran, how about this week, man? It's been pretty fun. I mean, we've seen some things happening so far. High school football, my gosh. I mean, we get the matchup I think we wanted, which is really cool for the state, for the state Division I open. I'm really excited for that. So, but anyway, Teran, all right. Well, let's get to it, man, and jump on in to these games from last night. Not a whole bunch of them, but there was a few, and I must say there were really no surprises here. So, so first things first, I got looks like we got here. Oh, we got some chat here. Yep, the Tartans are going down. As you can see, this is what happens, Teran. By the way, I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow on 3 and Out. But were you able to catch the Hard Knocks NFC North?
The AFC North.
Hard Knocks. It just came out on Tuesday on HBO Plus.
No, I did not, unfortunately.
Oh, dude. It was good. It was good. It was very good. I love me some NFC North football, and that seriously captured the essence. I loved it. But anyway, sorry, dude. I had to go on a little side there.
It's all good.
Okay, so here we go into the FBS. We're going to do a little bit of an FBS recap. But yesterday, dude, Conference USA Championship, it wasn't even a football game, Teran. It wasn't even, I don't know what this was. It was more of like one team was playing basketball, the other one was playing football. I don't know what this was. But Jack State absolutely wiped the floor with the Hilltoppers. 52-12, dude. They win themselves the Conference USA Championship. Are you surprised with this one, Teran? I was a little surprised. I thought the Hilltoppers would at least fight a little bit.
Well, the interesting thing is that Western Kentucky actually beat Jacksonville State last week, because had Western Kentucky not beaten them, then we would have seen Sam Houston State in the Conference of USA Championship. So, yeah, I think that's kind of the tricky part of playing the same opponent twice in 1 week, because Jacksonville State knew what they were expecting. It also could have been the case of Jacksonville State not playing all its starters and then just waiting in the wings to play them next week, because Jacksonville State already locked up a spot in the Conference USA Championship game. It was all about who they were going to face. It was either going to be Western Kentucky, where if they beat them, then they would get Western Kentucky the second straight week, or would they face Sam Houston State, who I was pulling for just because it was their first year in the FBS, and unfortunately they fell short just because they lost one too many Conference USA games, which is a bummer because Sam Houston State actually has the most wins in the conference outside of conference wins. So
That's so cool.
Them's the breaks, unfortunately.
You know, guys. Hey, you know the track. These are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up. What? Nobody likes Curtis Blow? Because I'm Curtis Blow, and I want you to know that these are the breaks. What? I guess I'm really old, Teran, because nobody's saying anything in the chat. Anyway, I just got an old soul, guys. I ain't that old. You know, only child with 2 OG parents growing up. I listen to everything they listen to. So anyway, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to watch it. Yeah, you got to watch it. Who cares? No one likes Stefanski. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud, Teran? Whoops.
Jen, how have you not watched the Hard Knocks for the AFC North? Like,
what's wrong with you? I'm just kidding.
I mean, I have an excuse because I'm not a fan of any of the AFC North. Obviously, I'm a Chargers fan, but
Come on, Jen. Come on. Like that skit from Saturday Night Live or Mad TV. Come on. Like, anyway, Marvin Tikva. But anyway, Pop in the house.
What's up? Pop.
Mr. Poolholes. Love this guy, man. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Yes, right. Pop's up in here. We're going to get to this one. What a perfect segue. Because, Teran, the Army. They're Army strong. That's right. These guys, man, congratulations on their first championship in their 134-year history. What in the WWE? I mean, this is crazy, Teran. But look, they beat Tulane like they stole something, man. I mean, number 24 beats Tulane 35-14. Teran, this was a great. I'm very happy for the Army. I really am.
Yeah, and Army really earned this one. I think that I feel kind of bad for Tulane, though, because last week they had a very tough loss against Memphis. But it's all about getting yourself off the mat and finding your way back into the next game, because that game against Memphis didn't really define them. So against Army, I thought Army looked really solid. Defensively, they had such a better game as opposed to that gong show of a game against Notre Dame. But I feel Army was just better equipped, better prepared, and they earned this one. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to look like they're going to make the college football playoff unless they get like a Hail Mary of a miracle. But the fact that they have won a conference championship, I think, is an amazing feat for them. They've only lost one game, which is really cool. So I think for Army, they could still hang their hats on that. If they make the college football playoff, awesome. Then we get to see them in the college football playoff. But if not, then they could still hang their hat on an amazing season. Who knows? Maybe we'll see them in a decent bowl game this year.
You know what, dude? That's I would want to see that. Teran, do you know how bad I want to see Navy continue doing good too? How cool would it have been to have an Army-Navy game where they're like ranked in the top 10? How cool! I mean, right? That would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Oh, I would love that. Regardless, I watch that every year. It's next weekend. I'm excited for it. It is a game that I enjoy. As you know, Teran, I mean, I love our troops. I respect and love them all so very much. That's right. We salute you. I love it. And I love watching that game. It is so much fun. I got my wife involved now. She likes to watch that game. It's just a great game, man. It's funny because they really hate each other. Like, man, like that's a lot of dislike. But I love the fact that it's just a great football game, though, man. It makes for a really good football game, and it's gonna be so big ups to Army, man. They got it done. Oh boy, Pop's having fun in here, man. That's right, Curtis. Oh, yep, there we go. Curtis with the K. Curtis, that's right. Curtis Blow. That's right. He wants you to know these are the breaks, guys. And oh boy, I'm sorry, Teran. This is too good. Jen B says she hasn't watched Hard Knocks because she's been too busy watching her other teams that actually win.
Touche, yeah.
I wouldn't watch nothing about the Raiders right now. I wouldn't care. I don't even care about the Raiders. I don't even know who the Raiders are. I don't even want to look at them. They disgust me. But I like the other teams who are winning right now. Galaxy. Today's the day. Let's go, Galaxy. Anyway. Yeah, no way they make the playoffs, unfortunately, and Navy will beat them next week. Well, I don't know. Pop. I don't know, man. The Navy, I don't know. The
Navy will
Army,
beat them.
I don't know. Army's pretty good. I don't know. That's debatable, but I love the input, man. Preach, Jim B. Absolutely. Yeah, when your team sucks, but anyway, so there we go, Teran. Army. So we have the first game, of course, from yesterday. Jack State, they get it done, knocking off Western Kentucky. Then we have Army knocking off Tulane. And then yesterday, Teran, there was a game that it wasn't a bad. I loved this game. I just thought it would be just a tad bit closer. And that was the Mountain West Championship game, Teran. Number 10, Boise State, they have locked in their top 12 spot. There's no way in hell they're not going to be in that top 12. But they won. They defeated number 20 UNLV, which, Teran, can we just give a hand clap? But UNLV this year, UNLV, yes. You know what? I am proud of this team. You know, they were gonna have a fight in this game. They were gonna have a fight this season, but gosh damn it. The last time I've seen a UNLV team this good, I can't even remember. I didn't think we were alive. Maybe we were, I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, they weren't this good. Do they have now? I don't think I've ever seen the Rebels this good. And they get it done, dude. They get it done. No, they didn't get it done, but Boise State gets it done. But UNLV got it done to get here. And you know what, Teran? To me, that's great on its own. They have tons. I mean, Kale's talked about it so many times on Sin City Sports here on iSports Radio on Tuesday evenings. Teran, that's a hotbed. You got Bishop Gorman, who we're going to talk about in just a little bit. Again, you got freaking Liberty High School that's over there. You have the Henderson schools that are right down the road. You know what I mean? You have incredible talent. Coronado is another big high school over there. Teran, it's a hotbed over there for why can't they? If they can just get those recruits from leaving to bring them to UNLV, they're a hell of a school, dude. Can you imagine a lot of these Bishop Gorman guys committing to UNLV? You know how good that team would be, right, Teran? I mean, you know, so they need to really work on that local talent, man. I'm very proud of these guys. Yeah, I'm biased. That's right. That's awesome, dude. Salute you, good sir. Mr. Pujols says obviously he's biased. He was a officer candidate for Navy. That is badass, dude. It just goes to show you how much of a badass Pop is. I'm just saying, certified badass. You know. So, but yes, thank you for your service, Pop. You're amazing, dude. So yeah, I get it. Now it's Navy beat Army. I like that. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, UNLV will be even better next year with that freshman. Oh, dude, he was amazing. We're going to see this team continue to take off. I really want to see them play well. I'm excited for this. My friend's brother just got promoted to captain in the Navy last. That's awesome. Congratulations to him. Love all the military stuff. This is just making me happy. I love it. So, you guys, I am very excited for Boise, though. This is going to be a special. This has been a special season for them. Teran, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this was a very clean game by Boise State. They didn't have they only had one penalty all game. And they didn't have any turnovers. They were methodical offensively, and they were just overall clean. Now, and the crazy thing is that they held Kyron James to only 95 rushing yards on 2 carries, which I think is pretty cool if you ask me. So Boise State has deserved its spot in the college football playoff, and I think they're going to do great things. Now, I wonder how far they'll go because they're obviously going to draw. If they're number 10 right now, they'll probably draw the 7 seed. Which, if they win that one, they'll advance to face the 2 seed, which will probably be at Texas. But I think it's great to see non-power fours in the college football playoff. It just shows that it gives other teams from other conferences a chance. And Boise State only has one loss, which was a close loss to number 1 Oregon. So I think we could say that Boise State has rightfully earned a spot in the college football playoff.
And you know what, man? To me, that is so big because let's go. Like you just said it right now. Okay. They're a non-power 4. I love this. I want this team to be successful. Unfortunately, they're probably going to get destroyed in the first round. I mean, I don't want to say that. Hey, UMBC. Remember UMBC? I mean, this will not be a 16 versus a 1, or I guess a 12 versus a 1. But hey, UMBC did it. They knocked off the champs. You know what I mean? Like they did it. So I'm just saying, like, you gotta respect the chances of these teams. And I really, really love how UNLV has played this year. I'm sorry, Boise State has played this year, but UNLV is coming. Both these teams are coming. Let's go Mountain West. I really love this a lot. I low-key want Oregon State and Washington to absorb into the Mountain West. I think that'd be really cool to see them do that. The Pac-12 is dead. I hate it, but it is what it is. But
Washington State and Oregon State should be in the Mountain West next year. They were playing Mountain West Conference opponents, so
yeah. I would want that. So Boise State should be at least the 3rd seed. Is that correct? Oh, well, they're going to, I wish they were, but.
It's too bad the Mountain West Conference isn't a Power 4. Otherwise, they'd have a first-round bye. I think the first-round byes go to, like, conference tournament champs, such as the ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the SEC.
And not the independents. Stupid Notre Dame. I swear, way to shoot yourself in the foot. Notre Dame is, idiots. I don't care. I'll say it a million times over. You're idiots. Really? Obviously, it's the money, Teran. Independent. They make a lot of money, but is it worth it? Is it worth it if you don't get the committees? Right, Teran? I don't get it. You're idiots. Like, you join a conference. Gosh, dang it. Join a conference. I'm sorry. I'll go off on Notre Dame later for being stupid. But
yeah, if there was an independent conference, like it was actually named the Independent Conference, and it had like talented teams, like it did back in the day with BYU and whatnot, then maybe, just maybe, we could see them in getting. Maybe with that could be the Power 5 conference. But until then, it ain't happening.
Nope. Like I said, to teams like this, and they're overrated at 5.
Exactly.
No, 100%. Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. But so we'll get into those cats later. Teran, let's go ahead and jump on over to a little bit of high school, man. We don't got a lot to get into, but we have a lot to get into, which is kind of funny. But Teran,
we're not going to recap last week in the FBS.
Well, this last week.
Yeah. We could briefly go over some of the notable matches or notable games.
I got so excited to go into I got so excited to get into high school. I really did, because high school is going to be a lot of fun. But okay, I guess we'll jump on in. So let's see. Let's take a look here. So, okay, last week, that's where we got to get into some of these games, because some of them were pretty okay. But yeah, Teran, last week, man, let's go ahead and put up our little sign here, our little FBS recap sign. But yeah, Teran, so in the FBS, of course, and reminding you guys, please, of course, make sure to follow us. 3 and Out CEIE, of course, all spelled out. Follow my boy Teran right here at Teran Rodriguez 1. You can follow me at VTHEE_LB53. Check us out on Blue Sky. We're there, IE Sports Radio. Check out our recap now. Let's get into it. So, Teran, last week was a crazy one. I don't know. It was just kind of all over the place, I feel like. We look at, let's take a look. Okay, there we go. Everything's pulled up now. So obviously we have the early games that we talked about. The Akrons over Toledo's, and the Buffaloes over Kent State's, and the Memphises over the Tulanes, and all that good stuff. The Thanksgiving stuff and everything, and all the fun stuff. The Georgia Tech million overtimes and all that on Friday night and everything. But Saturday's games there. Last week, okay, and yeah, you're right. There are some notable ones we got to talk about. Sorry, jumping the gun here, man. High school, sorry, but
all good.
So last week, obviously, Oregon just took Washington to the woodshed. We didn't think it would be anything different, but I do want to talk about this, because this is something that, Teran, I got DM'd about this. I got a lot of questions asked. Obviously, I played the game, played in college, played all the good semi-pro and everything. Teran, this was a big one, man. And Michigan did it. Michigan did it, dude. Michigan did it. Michigan defeated Ohio, number 2 Ohio State, 13-10 on their field. And before we get into what everybody else wants to talk about, the game, Teran, Michigan exposed Ohio State. There's no way around it.
It was a very impressive win by Michigan. I will say, though, for Ohio State, the demise of this team must be studied. How do you lose on your home field to a Michigan team that was pretty much in a massive rebuild? Mm-hmm. Like, come on. Like, that's so saddening right there. You couldn't even score 1 point in the second half. And Michigan was just begging you to take the game. They were begging them to take the game because they only scored a field goal in the second half, which I think is just disappointing. So, again, the demise of Ohio State must be studied because how does this team just fumble the bag? That loss might actually haunt them forever because they even had 2 picks on Michigan as well. But then again, Ohio State also had 2 picks courtesy of Will Howard. So I just don't understand how Ohio State just found a way to just lose when this was their game right for the picking. They were 20-point favorites. It was actually the first time a reigning champion was a 20-point plus underdog. That's how long it's been, and that's how dreadful the season Michigan had. And the crazy thing is, Ohio State only had 2 penalties for 19 yards. Both teams didn't have too many penalties, if you ask me. And both teams weren't really that big in terms of their yardage, as both teams had 234 and 252 overall offensive yards, respectively. But the fact that Ohio State just really could not get its offensive generating is really sad right there. And Michigan outpossessed Ohio State in terms of like time of possession. So I really thought that this was a game that Ohio State more so lost than Michigan wound up winning, just because all Ohio State needed to do was win. And then they were in the Big Ten Conference Championship. But instead, they're not in the conference championship, and there is a new team that's going to be in the Big Ten Conference Champion because everyone and their mamas predicted Ohio State, Oregon in the Big Ten Conference Championship. Heck, I bet you everyone predicted Ohio State, Oregon in the national championship.
And that would have been huge. But Teran, you were absolutely right. This game, this one hurts. The Ohio State fans out there, Jen B, I'm sorry. I don't blame her if she tuned out. I don't blame her one bit. This was painful, dude. This was so painful for them because you're right. They got stomped. I don't know. This was this was bad. And overall, I love it here. Pop. Yeah, we're gonna get to the Gators in a few minutes. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Gators are getting it. Miami,
we're gonna get into that soon as well.
I can't wait to get into them. But yes, is Ryan Day getting too much pressure to do a shot? Ryan Day needs to go. I think this is he's lost this game too many times. I'm sorry. I still don't know how, and I hate to say this, but good old James over there in Penn State, I think this is a hot seat.
James Franklin.
Oh yeah. That seat gets hot because you got to win. You got to win. You got to win the big ones, damn it. So it happens, But what I got to say here is, Michigan absolutely. They played this game. They played their game plan to a T. They didn't let up any big plays. There was a lot of cover 2 I saw that kept everything underneath. Teran, this is the game. This team can deliver the big ball. So what do you do with a team who can deliver that DP? Guess what? You play that cover 2. You take away everything deep. You play shallow. I'm sorry. You make them play shallow. And Teran, if your underneath can play really, really, really well, your front 7, guess what? You're going to be able to stop these guys for lots and lots and lots of yards as they should have had. I love this game plan. They were able to stop that run. Ohio State couldn't get anything going. It was incredible. They got 10 points. I mean, and Ohio State's defense, you know what? I got to give them, they played pretty good. They played okay. I mean, gosh damn it, they only held them to 13 points. It was a good game. You knew Michigan was going to score something. It's a rivalry game. These guys were heated. I can't fault the defense. It's the offense, man. Ohio State's offense just couldn't get anything going. It was sad performance from them. But for the most part, I cannot discredit that Michigan defense, though. That Michigan defense played their tails off, man. They played lights out. Congratulations to them for making it happen. So, Teran, this is a great game for me. I loved it. And I just so let's address the elephant in the room. Okay. Just being real. You do not plant a flag on somebody else's field. You don't do it. If you do, crap's going to happen. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. If you do that, you're begging for it. That's disrespectful. That's the most disrespectful thing you can possibly do. Ohio State was singing the alma mater. They took it. It is what it is. I get the rivalry, but you do not do that and think nothing's going to happen. So Ohio State was defending their field. Obviously, they lost the game. I heard all these dumb people on Twitter, oh, you should have won it in the game. Oh, you got all those 60 minutes to fight, whatever. Dude, nobody from Ohio State was fighting. The game was over. They chalked it up to a loss. Hey, man, good game. I'll see you next year. I hate you. But, it was it. But it was a disrespect from Michigan. Shame on you, coach, for letting that happen, bro. You need to tell your players, hey, man, that's not how we win. You know how we win? We go kick their ass in their field. We celebrate. We do not plant no flags. We don't be disrespectful. We whip their ass, and then we go to their locker room, celebrate, get out of there, and we can always say, hey, remember that time they were number 2? Nah, not happening, bro. That's how you win. Don't go planting flags and doing stupid crap. And everyone talking about, oh, Baker Mayfield did it. That was disrespectful, dude. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care who did it. So it makes me mad to think that, oh, people think it's okay. No, you don't do that. You know what I mean? I was involved in 2 of those types of fights in college. And, dude, it's just is what it is, man. You're going to get into it. You're going to fight. I don't like that. You don't do that. You know what I mean? And there was one time where I was on the side of the planting side. I was pissed at my teammates, man, because they got us in some crap. And what do you think? I'm not going to back up my teammates, Teran? You know what I mean? We all start fighting, and man, I'm on the wrong side. I know I'm on the wrong side, but I got to back up my teammates now. I'm not going to let nobody hit my teammates. So, yeah. But a couple guys thought they were funny and wanted to plant the flag. Dude, Teran, we ran. We got home from that game at 9:30 at night. Teran, we ran until 10:30.
Woo!
Yeah. That was a miserable night, dude. We won, but it felt like a loss. We got punished so bad for that. And there's another time when we lost, another team planted their flag, and we freaking fought for that too. And we also got in trouble for that too. But I'm just saying, Teran, you don't do that. You know what I mean? I know you're going to get in trouble both ways, but Teran, you don't do that, man. So I want to put that out there. I just didn't like that. It is what it is. It's classless. The other dude that was running around with the other flag, he needs to be disciplined, man. I don't like that. Homeboy Moore, I think. He's an amazing player, dude. But just, come on, dude. Don't do that, man. He continued to stir it up. As you always tell me, stir in the pot with a little cat emoji and everything. But, Teran, you know what I mean? He did that. He planted the flag. It was disrespectful, man. I don't care what anybody else has to say out there, man. Tell me something. What's up? You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, what's up? You got a problem? Tell me. Like, I don't like that. It's very disrespectful, and it is what it is. They went at it, and like I said, I think that, like I said, that kid Moore, very talented player. I have nothing bad to say about him in any range, but it's just, I know he was pumped up and everything, but, he did that. And don't get me wrong either. The other guy, Sawyer, he's the one who ripped the flag out of his hand and threw it. Another thing, I get it, and I understand that him too. Dude, don't do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just going to get yourselves in trouble more. You know what I mean? So both those guys, shame on you both. Is what it is, though. They're 2 great athletes. They're going to do great things in their futures, but it was hard. So overall, man, the brawl was the brawl. They had to freaking get pepper spray out there. Things were getting crazy. It is what it is. Kind of a sad little moment there for the rivalry because, obviously, Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes, they'd approve, I guess. I don't know. Those were 2 big-time rival coaches there, in the olden days. So, but what I would say is it sucks. I hate it, but it's going to happen. You know what I mean, right, Teran? Don't think that's going to happen and somebody's just going to take it lightly. They're going to fight. You're going to throw down. And it's okay. At that point in time, fines are fines. And unfortunately, they were both fined $200,000, I think, to their programs. And it is what it is. It was stupid, but you're not going to let somebody do that to you, So it is what it is. There you go. Those are my thoughts there on that whole deal. What do you think, Teran, about that whole fiasco?
Yeah, this one is obviously, this one could go either way, but but the thing is, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Like, Michigan knew that if Ohio State saw the flag planted on their field, they knew that Ohio State was going to react to it, and Ohio State wasn't going to be anything of that. This is one of the most heated rivalries in college football, and Michigan knew that it was going to be in a world full of hurt if Ohio State saw they planted the Michigan flag on the 50 of of Ohio State's field. This was basically the same thing, just like Terrell Owens stomping on, or no, I don't think it was Terrell Owens. I think it was like was it Terrell Owens? It was one player on the San Francisco 49ers who was just stomping all over the Dallas Cowboys star at midfield, and then eventually whatnot. So the sad thing is that Ryan Day actually allowed his boys to fight against Michigan, and it sucks because, I mean, as a coach, you want your players to not get involved in that, but he was just standing there, just looking like, like that. So
and
I think
you don't
as a
want
coach,
that.
he should have just tried his best to pull his players back and whatnot.
No, you're right. And Day, I don't know, dude. Day, just to me, I feel like the love is fading on both sides. I don't know if Day really wants to be there anymore. I don't know how he felt. I don't know. But at the same exact time, Ohio State, they're like, yeah, bro, we don't like you either, or whatever. I mean, I'll tell you right now. So I think he's going to be on his way out soon. Is what it is. But I love this. Dude, by the way, that was Terrell Owens that would stomp all over the flag for the 49ers on the star, and George Teague. He played for Alabama. This was in the 90s. But yeah, he used to go to the star and do this, be like, I'm the star and everything. Well, that was the game where Teague ran over and freaking hit him all the way from across the field. You know what I mean? Like, this goes back to that. Like, you don't do that, dude. Like, this is something, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, man. Like, I don't care. People can think it's stupid. I had to explain it to my wife a million times, and she was like, I think it's still stupid to fight. I love her to death. You know what I mean? She just doesn't, but she didn't get it. I had to explain it. Even when I explained it in depth, she was like, I still don't get it. It's kind of funny. My mom was visiting during the end of that game. She was here with us, and that happened, and everything is kind of paused. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I explained it to both of them. My mom's like, I remember that happened with you guys. I'm like, yeah, I remember that when I was in college. Like, but Teran, I had to explain it. And after I explained it, both of these special women in my life were like, that's stupid. And I was like, you don't understand. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to fault you for not understanding. So to anybody out there who doesn't understand why that fight broke out, it's going to happen, guys. I mean, this is what it is. And I love this here. Okay, this is funny. Pop saying here, heck, Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes. He says, heck, those two would have got involved. He said, especially Woody Hayes. Teran, Woody Hayes over here punching out cameramen. Woody Hayes, remember that play? Remember that highlight where the Clemson player got and Woody Hayes punched him in the neck from the side. Woody Hayes, man, that guy was a crazy dude, man. Him and Bo Schembechler were really close at the end. I think they weren't close. They were rivals, obviously, but. And I heard towards the end of their lives, they became friends and everything. But I love the rivalry, dude. This rivalry is heated. It's nasty. And if you're going to do something like that, especially in a rivalry like this, it's going to happen. And like you said, though, play silly games, get silly prizes. And unfortunately, those guys I just hope it was worth it because they both lost $200,000 now. And that's stuff that they could have used in their weight room, in their facility. You know what I mean? Like, so it sucks. But it is what it is. We had to address this. Ohio State choked big time. It's funny because Jimby was even telling me, like, during the game, like, yep, I had a feeling Ohio State would choke, and it's rough, I get that. It says Ryan Day needs to go. He's such a disappointment. We don't want him here. Oh, boy, it's coming out now. Tell us how you feel, Jen. And, yeah, his burnout. Yeah, his buyout for his contract is going to be huge, though. Like A&M,
Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo. Yeah, that's going to be, yeah. So, Teran, I just anyway, I know we spent a little bit on this one, but I just wanted to address that because, Teran, this was a big one. And like I said, I got a lot of DMs from this. And thank you guys, by the way, for everybody, my followers and everybody on Twitter and everybody, the team here at iSports Radio, some cool DMs like, dude, what do you think about that? Or, oh, what's going to happen? I think there's going to be some fines or what, it was just kind of cool, seeing, everybody, a lot of people, DM me for college stuff and everything. And I was like, I just wanted to tell you guys how it really is though, like this is the real deal, man. So anyway, Teran, let's go ahead and move forward, man. There were some goodies here. Can we just get this one out of the way too, man? Texas played good football. Texas played good. They did. They played. Some people said they didn't perform as best as they could have. I don't know, Teran. I thought it was a pretty game. Texas defeated number 3 Texas defeated Texas A&M Gig'em 17-7. Saturday Night Football. I don't know, Teran. I thought this was you know what? They won the damn game. Okay, what do they think that the Texas A&M, the number 20 team in the country, is just going to sit there and not do anything? It was a good football game, man.
Yeah, it was. Texas needed to win this one just because if Texas lost, Texas A&M would have tied them in the SEC standings, and then Texas would have been left out because Georgia and Texas A&M would have been tied atop the SEC standings. And do you want to know what Texas A&M and Georgia would have had in common? The tiebreaker over Texas, and Texas would have been on the outside looking in. So it was very important that Texas wound up winning that game, because imagine being top 5 in the nation and then missing out on your conference championship because you lost on the last day. Kind of like Ohio State. So looking at the offense, Texas has really outperformed Texas A&M. Offensively, they had over 450 yards of offense. I know the glaring thing is that Texas had 2 turnovers, but so did the Aggies. And honestly, only 5 penalties for only 25 yards. So, yeah, Texas, I mean, obviously they have a lot to clean up, but I think Texas is still going to be a tough out for anybody.
I agree. And yeah, I mean, for Texas, they just wanted the win, the damn win, and they did. And they did not choke like Miami, which I can't hold this back any longer.
Yeah.
Teran, Miami sucks. I'm sorry. Let's go to Miami. I've been waiting for this one.
Yes.
Teran. Yeah, I know, right? I'm not even gonna put the graphic up. It's like they're not even worth putting the graphic up. Teran, they suck. I'm sorry. They finally played a team that was actually worth a crap in Syracuse. And Syracuse, was like, hey, we can play football. Do you guys want to play a game? And they were like, yeah, let's play a game. And they played, and guess what, Teran? It happened. Okay, they didn't beat them by much, but they freaking beat them, and I'll take that. Cuse knocks off good old Cuse knocks off number 6 Miami 42-38. I mean, have you not been saying it every week, Teran? Have you not? Teran, I mean, I guess this is the perfect time to ask you, but is the U back?
No. Literally, Miami had the most cakewalk schedule out there. They didn't even play Clemson. This was a schedule where they could have easily gone 12-0, but instead they lost. And the 2 losses that they had were to the ACC teams. And the sad thing is had Miami beaten Syracuse, they would have been the ACC championship because they would have had the tiebreaker over Clemson, I think, due to being ranked higher. But Miami fumbled the bag. They are out of the ACC championship, and they might and most likely will be out of the college football playoff. Miami, like I said, MICKEYMOUSC, straight up literally choked, as honestly, the downfall of this team must be studied. It just really needs to be studied.
Yeah, they do. They're bad. They've been historically bad. Good for them for having a 10-win season, but you're not what everybody thought you were. Too bad, so sad. Penn State knocks off Maryland. Notre Dame knocks off USC, which that was a given.
Hey, USC gave him a good fight. It's just that those 2 pick sixes in the 4th quarter were what did USC in. Thanks, Jane Mayava.
Exactly. I know. This was something. I don't know. Tennessee over Vandy was a pretty good game. That was another one that we thought was going to be pretty damn good. South Carolina and Clemson, man. How about that South Carolina battle? That was a great game there. South Carolina proved that they are definitely the supreme team over there. The Iron Bowl was pretty good. Alabama knocking off Auburn. Territorial Cup, Arizona absolutely dominated Arizona. Oh my gosh, that wasn't even freaking fair. That was kind of a rough one. The Chicago battle, man. Illinois and Northwestern. 10-point game there. Good job to Illinois. And I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, we had some fun ones last week, man. We really, really did have some goodies. I don't know. I mean, if you want to throw any others out there, UCLA, Fresno was a decent one. NC State and North Carolina. And now we're talking about Bill Belichick going to North Carolina. I don't know about none of that, but, I don't know. But anyway, Terry, you want to throw any other ones out there from last week, man? Florida, the Sunshine Showdown for Pop, man. Florida knocked out Florida State, which Florida State was horrible this year, but good for Florida winning that game. LSU destroyed Oklahoma, which I don't know how the hell that happened, because I thought Oklahoma was the better team. But Darren, what do you think, man?
Yeah, and and when it came to the Big 12, I guess I should throw that out there. When it came to the Big 12, it was a four-way tie for first place. It was BYU, uh, Colorado, Iowa State, and Arizona State. And the ones that got in were Iowa State and Arizona State, which I think the big thing is that they actually were ranked higher than both. They were the two highest ranked teams from the Big 12. Now, I don't know if that was what transpired. I don't know if that was the tiebreaker, but oh man, that's crucial right there. That must be a backbreaker if you're Colorado, because Colorado had that massive turnaround only to see themselves on the outside looking in because they were ranked 23. BYU was ranked 18. They had such a promising season, and then it got demolished because they folded like origami. So, yeah, Arizona and Iowa State, 15 and 16. They were the highest ranked teams in the Big 12. So, again, you got to feel for BYU and Colorado, but at the same time, you got to take care of business. I mean, I know we all love what Coach Prime has done. We all love Travis Hunter. He's probably going to be on the New England Patriots or something. He's probably going to be a top overall pick. He could be the Heisman, but unfortunately, losing to Kansas is just going to kill your season. So it's unfortunate for BYU and for Colorado, but that's why those are it's a tough industry, and you got to take care of your business and make sure it never gets to that point where you have to be ranked higher than a certain team. So, moral of the story, beat the teams that you're supposed to beat.
I mean, that's very well explained, by the way. Dan, that was very good. Very, very, very good. Good stuff there. I just, couldn't say it better myself, good sir. I mean, really, damn, that was pretty good. I can't even follow that, Teran. That's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Very impressive, Teran. Very impressive. Well, overall, man, this was a good week. It was a fun week of football. And if you have to give us, one more deal here, what do you think, man? Any games you want to mention or anything before we go to high school?
Well, I actually should mention that Penn State obviously demolished Maryland, and James Franklin got some flack from his guys scoring a touchdown on the last play of the game. But James Franklin had his second stringers and third stringers in, while Maryland had their first stringers in. Well, let me just tell you, the second stringers and the third stringers never get a chance to play. They're either going to be working their tails off in practice or just doing other things. I think, honestly, James Franklin has a valid argument when it comes to his players scoring on the last play of the game. Let them get their shine. Let them get their thing. And if I recall correctly, I think Maryland was playing cover zero defense. I mean, either cover zero or cover two, but I think cover two is like man-to-man. Regardless, Maryland, if they didn't want Penn State to score, they shouldn't have been playing such prevent defense, in my opinion. So I think Penn State has a valid argument. And guess who is going to be bowling, let alone in the Big Ten? The Big Ten Conference Championship game, Penn State, because they have the tiebreaker over Indiana, even though the two teams didn't play. And Penn State is ranked higher than Indiana. Go figure.
Yeah,
and
I know,
State
right?
will be the ones dancing into the night in the Big Ten Conference Championship. So, again, it just goes to show you gotta. Okay, for Indiana, in their defense, they faced Ohio State, which Ohio State I think kind of used up all their touchdowns in that game, as opposed to that previous week before Michigan. So, yeah, I think that might have been where where Ohio State just kind of, I don't know how to describe this. It's like they used up their best game against.
They did.
They used up their best game against an opponent that they should have done. They know they should beat, and then they just couldn't follow that up, which is obviously a bummer. But it's a tough industry.
No, it is. It is totally, man. And by the way, looking at these comments here, man, I love it. No, absolutely. This was rough, man. Gen B, I feel bad for the guys who opted out of the draft to stay there. Yeah, absolutely. Miami sucks. They are not back. Absolutely. T5 thinks he's funny because no. T5.
Is he
Let me go ahead.
referring to my USC shirt?
Let me go ahead and tell you, bro. Burn your stupid LSU jerseys because those idiots lost to that team over there. LSU weak. Sorry, bro.
At least they beat UCLA.
Is that harsh? Was that too mean? Anyway,
I'll give them that much.
Yeah, it was T.O. posing on the well, absolutely. We talked about that
yeah.
We talked about that, and then of course George Teague went over there and freaking hit him, and it was hilarious. And then, yeah, absolutely, this was that. We're going back to that fight, and of course T.O. Yeah, well, I don't know. Good deals, but yeah, this is a good point there, Pop. But anyway, so yeah, Teran. Anyway. Crazy week, man. It was a lot of fun watching the football last week, man. Tons of good stuff there. Anything else you want to add before we head over to high school?
I think that is it for the time being. SEC Championship's obviously going to be Georgia versus Texas, rematch of earlier. ACC Championship is going to be SMU versus Clemson, which SMU has been a pleasant surprise this season.
Yeah. We're going to get into those ones in a little bit and make our picks.
State and Oregon, which nobody predicted.
Oh, I know.
And I think that is it. And then Big 12, like I mentioned, Arizona State and Iowa State.
No, they're going to be fun. So we're going to get into those later on, man. But let's go ahead and move it on here because, well, we finally got what we wanted. I've been waiting for this one. I was really, really hoping that we would get this, and damn it, we did. Teran, courtesy of MaxPreps.com, there it is. Cali battle, bro. NorCal versus SoCal. Modern Day, obviously, they beat De La Salle. They are on. We knew they were going to go on, continuing their mean streak. And if anybody's ever seen when the game stands tall, De La Salle, well, here it is, the streak from 94 to 2005. Oh,
yep.
De La Salle is here. Teran, this is it. De La Salle, Modern Day at Saddleback College next weekend. This is for all the marbles in the state of California. De La Salle wins this game. It'll be one of the biggest upsets I think we've ever seen because Modern Day has been on the has been destroying everyone this year. However, if Modern Day wins this thing, they might go down as maybe one of the best high school teams to ever be assembled. I don't know, Teran, what do you think?
Well, best high school team that hasn't played a full season because remember, Modern Day played only 9 games because they couldn't find a 10th game because their head coach Raul Lara was hired so late in April. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for Modern Day, well, my big thing is for Modern Day De La Salle, can a Northern California team score a point against a Southern California team? Because when Junipero Serra did play to Bosco and Modern Day the past 2 seasons in the state championship in the open division, they couldn't score anything.
No.
I'm sorry to say it, but they couldn't score squat, not even 1 point. They couldn't even run a cover play, let alone a single point. So that's the biggest thing that everyone's going to be seeing. Is this De La Salle team going to be scoring a point against Modern Day? And it's great to see De La Salle back in the state championship. My big thing is Modern Day, they're just playing such great football. Mm-hmm. You know, again, Raul Lara has really gotten that team well prepared, well organized. I know they had their first challenge against St. John Bosco, but as the old saying goes, great teams don't need to be great all the season. They just need to be great when they need to be. And Modern Day was great against Bosco. I mean, Bosco really took that beat down in the regular season to heart, and they threw everything at Modern Day and then some. And they were battle tested. They were battle tested in the Trinity League. Their first round matchup, they nearly lost that one to Santa Margarita. They took down a very talented OLU team or Orange Lutheran team, which has TJ Lateef going to Nebraska. Mm-hmm. And then they gave everything they had against Modern Day and more. But unfortunately, it was just not enough. But again, this was one of Bosco's younger teams. This was I wouldn't say rebuilding year just because Bosco only lost 2 games and they beat some darn good teams like Chaminade Madonna. Like I mentioned, Orange Lutheran.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I think Modern Day is able to throw anything that anyone throws at them, back at them with twice the force. And it goes to show, and it kind of goes to show that this was a great hiring Raul Lara. He's had many stops. He's coached at Long Beach Poly, Warren, St. Anthony, turned that team into a powerhouse in the lower divisions. And Raul Lara just got lots of praise from everybody. And he deserves, if he gets Coach of the Year, whether it's in Orange County, whether it's in California, whether it's nationally, he definitely deserves it because
well deserved.
He's a well-grounded guy.
Mm-hmm.
He cares for his players, and he knows that the spotlight is all on Mater Dei, but he just takes it one day at a time, and he doesn't let that affect him or his players.
Yo, absolutely. And this is huge, man. Excuse me. This is huge. Big game. But I'll tell you right now, I really do believe, Teran, Mater Dei wins this thing. They will go down as one of the greatest teams to ever play in high school.
Mm-hmm.
They were the most dominant national champion I think we've ever seen. This is insane. I mean, they destroyed everybody. They played top 10 teams this year. They played the number 2 team, I think, twice. I mean, like, this is a extremely solid team, man. So congratulations to Mater Dei for getting here. Congratulations to De La Salle for getting here. The Mouse play the game next weekend. We'll get our picks for that one coming up. But yeah, man, good stuff there. Really excited for those youngsters playing, man. These are the guys we're going to be seeing plenty of in our future here. So next up, Teran, a little bit of Georgia. Excuse me, a little bit of Georgia, man. I think this is still hanging on. But Teran, Georgia, last night it happened, dude. It happened. Here it is, man. Let's go ahead and throw this up there on the screen. Once again, courtesy of maxpreps.com. Teran, Langston Hughes defeated Coffee 49-26. And like we thought, man, the number 2 team in the country, Milton, defeated Lee County, who was now number 25, by the way, in the national rankings. There it is, dude. Langston Hughes versus Milton coming on up in that Georgia championship right there, man. I believe it. What is it? 5A, right? 5A, Class A. Championship there. Teran, I mean, we're going to talk about that one soon, but
yes.
How about those 2 games right there? Milton just did their thing, and how about Langston Hughes?
Yeah, those were 2 really good games, in my opinion, and it's going to be quite the fascinating championship between Langston Hughes and Milton. Both those teams have really shown that they can score at will. I know you're a defensive guy. I know Milton, but I think we're going to expect a high-scoring game. I know you don't like high-scoring games, but it's looking like it's going to go down that route. But I'm going to be interested to see how the defense fares between which team is going to blink first, which team is going to get that big stop, which is going to sway the game. Will there be a big stop late in the fourth quarter? Will there be like a pick 6 or a fumble recovery or something of that sort? That's my big thing. Who is going to make the defensive play that swings the momentum to their team?
And that's fair. That's fair to say. I believe it will be a very high-scoring game, too. These offenses are so freaking high-powered, man. But obviously, I mean, I think we're going to be leaning towards Milton. But we'll talk about that game as it comes. Like I said, we're just kind of rapid-firing through these ones here today because high school, it's just kind of wrapping it on up here. But, Teran, moving on now over to our Texas battle, man. I mean, Teran, how about this, dude? This is crazy. I don't even got to put up too many more graphics after this or too many more parts of Max Prep's website because, well, 3 of the top 10 teams in the country all come from Texas, and they're all amazing. So, yeah, last week, man, we've seen it here. Let's look at the upper part of this bracket and the Texas 6A Division I state championship. Allen, man. I mean, Allen got there. They're defeating Trinity by a point. Got there to take on North Crowley. But, dude, look at this, man. North Crowley just, man. Copel, they just defeated these guys, or Capel, I don't know how to pronounce that. But North Crowley defeats that one, man, 35-24. They head on to take Allen now in that top left bracket. That top right bracket, North Shore, man. Crowley right now is currently, if I'm not mistaken, Teran, I think Crowley is they're still number 9, if I think. But look at that, man. Let me say a quick look here just to make sure. But yes, Crowley, number 9 out of Fort Worth, Texas. They're doing their thing in that top left bracket, taking on Allen. North Shore, top right-hand corner, defeated Katy, Texas. 42-28, good football game there. North Shore is now going to take on Atascosa. This is crazy because North Shore is the number 6 team in the country out of Houston, and kind of crazy. Atascosa is actually they're up there. They're number 20 out of Humboldt, Texas. So that's the top right-hand corner. You got 2 of the top 10 teams playing right there. Bottom left team. Well, here we go, Teran. Duncanville. They defeated, I believe it's Wahahachi, but they defeated them 24-19. Good game there. Briggsville defeated them and then went on up to take on Duncanville now because Duncanville defeated the Woodlands 42-20. Now it's Duncanville and Bridgeland. And of course, Duncanville, they are the number, The number 3 team in the country. Okay, so look at all these Texas schools that are up there. And then this side over here, bottom right, you have now Lake Travis taking on Westlake. This is the only side, the bottom right bracket is the only side who doesn't have one of those top 10 teams. Darren, this is going to be fun down the stretch, man. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be a barn burner. I think we're in for a really good ride. I still probably gonna ride with Duncanville. I know it's a little early to say, but yeah, Duncanville looks pretty enticing if you ask me. So I know Westlake's going to get a little bit of an extended week just because they played yesterday as opposed to today.
Right.
But I think Duncanville's just going to really bring it to them.
Oh, they will.
And then we got North Shore. I think North Shore will win, and then North Crowley will defeat Allen. So
yeah.
I think it's going to be a very fun and eventful semifinal.
It will be, but yeah, I'm going to take all those schools there. Obviously, Westlake is through, but like I said, man, we're going to keep on going. But as of right now, man, I'm still going to keep Duncanville as my favorite up there. That they're just looking too good this year. They played extremely well. So there we go. And then, of course, Darren, heading on over. Dude, this one's even crazier. I like this one. This is, we have here, let's go ahead and share it again on over to Max Preps. Darren, here it is, dude. The Georgia, I believe this is the 6A, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 6A. Here it is, man. Grayson defeated Douglas County 35-28, and they are on to take on, guess who, Taryn? Carrollton. Carrollton this year has been what Buford was last year. Buford played great last year. They're still in it, man, because look at this. They went all the way to the semis. They played Carrollton last night. Carrollton, though, would defeat Buford 30-17. 2 very good top teams in the country going head-to-head. They're out of Georgia, but Carrollton got the better. That was a good game, man. Carrollton now to play Grayson in a few weeks here in that 6A. How about that, Terry? We talked about this for so long. We knew that Carrollton and Buford were on a collision course at some point in the playoffs, and well, that final score says it all, man. Carrollton was just a tad bit better than Buford. Yeah,
Buford, I thought, played a really good game, but Carrollton just was able to hold them off for the most part. I think this is going to be a really good battle, not this week, but in 11 more days between Grayson and Carrollton. I think Carrollton will probably stand on business, but do not count out Grayson. I feel their offense can really score it well. It's just that I'm kind of concerned for their defense.
Yeah, no, that's for sure a big if right there. But yeah, man, Carrollton is just looking great, man. And then obviously we're going to just move it along here, continuing the top 25. I mean, some of these are all done. Obviously, number 7, St. John Bosco, they fell submission to Modern Day early on. Well, not early on, but in the CIF Open Championship a couple weeks ago. Or last week, actually. We have St. Francis Academy. We talked about many times already. They have finished their season. They're a freelance team, so no playoffs for them. Number 11, Archbishop Spalding out of Severn, Maryland. Good job to those guys. Like I said, they were crowned champions. So good stuff here. And this is pretty cool too, man. Taking a look at Pop. Hopefully Pop's still in the house, man. Didn't tune out. Hopefully he's in here with us because this is pretty good, Sam. We're gonna just move on now into some a little bit deeper now because you gotta include some of these Florida teams, man. Taryn, this is a good stuff right here, man. In the 5A FHSAA championship here. Look at this one, man. St. Thomas Aquinas, they defeated Manatee 16-13, and Lakeland. These guys right now are looking good. Defeated Niceville, I believe, 34-33. Great game there. Now St. Thomas Aquinas and Lakeland going head-to-head. How about that one, Darren?
That's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be an exciting matchup. I would not be surprised if that one came down to the wire. Lakeland, I think they have a good shot at winning, but they're going to need to play some good football down the stretch. And I'm glad you were able to touch upon some Florida football, just because there have been some good teams coming out of Florida, or good players coming out of Florida in terms of their high school. I like Lamar Jackson. So, yeah, St. Thomas Aquinas, obviously that was both semifinals were amazing. St. Thomas Aquinas won by a field goal, while Lakeland won by a nose. I think this one could boil down to St. Thomas Aquinas' defense versus Lakeland's offense. So we'll see what happens.
This is going to be fun. I'm looking for this is a hard one to pick. I still don't have a winner in this one. I don't know who to pick, but that is a close one. Lakeland, of course, number 12 in the nation, man, doing their thing. But let's take a look here, okay? Because, hey, there's another really good school out of Florida, Teran. Last year, you know what? They weren't what they were last year, but it's okay because they're still doing their thing. They're still, number 13, 14 in the country. And that, of course, is, you know who I'm talking about there. And he just brought him up a little bit ago. Chaminade Madonna, man. Let's go ahead and put them up there. Chaminade Madonna, they have done it. They are through, I believe, to the championship. Yes, they are. They are, let's share the screen. There it is. Yes. And there it is, Teran, in the 1A FHSAA. They are here. They defeated Trinity Christian 35-6. And then Clearwater. Hey, Clearwater Central Catholic defeated Cardinal Newman 22-21. That was a barn burner. Now they go head-to-head coming on up, man. Chaminade Madonna still my pick in this one. They're not as powerful as they were last year, but they're not powerful, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Chaminade Madonna has been them. They have only allowed 6 points. Believe it or not, their semifinal game was actually the semifinal and quarterfinal game. They've only allowed 6 points. They've only allowed 12 points throughout the entirety of the playoffs. Well, they've been averaging. And this was actually their lowest point total of the postseason, 35 points. Their quarterfinal game, they scored 49. Mm-hmm. Their second round game, they scored 70. And their first round game, they scored 63. So Chaminade Madonna has been a freaking wagon. And remember, they lost their first 2 games of the season. They lost to Bosco, and then they lost to Blanche Eli. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, they've reeled off 12 in a row, which I think is pretty darn impressive. Oh, yeah. It shows the resiliency of Chaminade Madonna. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do in the championship game.
Oh, yeah, dude. Chaminade Madonna has been amazing. And I, as much as I would like to see a really, really fun game, this one, I don't know. Chaminade Madonna might run away with this one, but if they don't, that's okay. It's going to be a good game regardless. I'm really, really excited for both these teams. I think this is going to be a fun game here. Looking forward to it. Obviously, my pick there, but, there you go. So, obviously, moving through some, more stuff here. We have number 13, Orange Lutheran. Chaminade Madonna was 14. Centennial out of Corona, California. They finished their season earlier. Corner Canyon out of the Chargers, man. Corner Canyon out of Utah. Kind of cool, man. They're in the state championship as well out of Utah. And, well, these guys, man, they're not in it. They won it already. So big ups to Corner Canyon. They defeated Lone Peak 30-27. So Utah state champions there in the 6A field. So good job to those guys, man. Big ups to them. We have here Mission Viejo was 17th. IMG Academy, a team out of Florida that's, pretty dang good. No playoffs for them. Freelance team, as I mentioned earlier, out of Scotia is in the Texas bracket, along with those other monsters. They're number 20. Bergen Catholic, got to shout these guys out from New Jersey, man. Bergen Catholic, as they've been that tippy top of New Jersey football for a while now, man. In the non-public A region here, they defeated Don Bosco Prep 25-7, actually back on the 29th, so last week. Congratulations to Bergen Catholic as they will win another one here in state. So good job to those guys in New Jersey. De La Salle, Teran, the number 24 team. Well, they found their way, as we talked about already, to take on good old Mater Dei. They won their region already, defeating Evan actually last week. Pretty impressive victory in their little. obviously that was to come on down to face Mater Dei. But yeah, Teran, just a lot of fun stuff going on with these rankings. Lee County, as we talked about earlier, they are number 25 out of Georgia. They just had a tough loss. But DeSoto also, Teran, they are in that, let's see here, the 6A D2 bracket. And I can just name these off, for right now. DeSoto's going to be taking on Longview coming up here in the quarterfinals. So let's see how these guys go. And last but not least, I do want to bring up one more school, the number 23 team in the country, DeMatha, dude. We haven't talked about these guys in a while. These guys out of Maryland, man. I believe it's Hyattsville, Maryland. They are right now in the, I don't know how they do this, but Capital is the name of their bracket, but they won it already, dude. On the 24th, they defeated Our Lady of Good Counsel 16-7. The DeMatha Stags win themselves a state championship there. Another one, because I know they've won some in the past. So there you go, Teran. A little bit of high school football all the way from 1 to 25, man. How you like that?
It was great.
Even Blue wants some high school football.
Yeah, Blue's in the shots. Yeah, I thought that was great. It's great to highlight the top 25, and yeah, Lakeland is still undefeated.
Yeah, good stuff here, man. He's talking about Shaman Ramadan as well. But Teran, a little bit of high school football there, some good stuff, man. So what are you thinking? I mean, I'm excited for all these good games coming on up. Let's have some fun with those, right? And enjoy those. But overall, Teran, I think, the tippy top, the monsters at the top, man. Mater Dei is the story, and they just they're going to be like, what's his name? Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
They're going to finish the story, man.
Yep, I agree.
So
I might be able to see Mater Dei Mater Dei De La Salle next week, because if the team that I'm covering tonight, Edison, beats Granite Hills, they'll also play at Saddleback College next week. So yeah, if you're at Huntington Beach High School and you see me, come say hi. Speaking of the CIF state playoffs, I hate to have to bring this up, Larry, but there is one interesting matchup from the CIF state playoffs that probably might be the most matchup ever. So I don't know if anyone of y'all know this, but St. Augustine from the San Diego section and St. Pius x St. Matthias are playing one another. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why is that a bad matchup? Well, St. Pius x St. Matthias went 1-9 in the regular season, and they got into the CIF Southern Section Division 8 playoffs.
How do you do that?
And do you want to know what happened? St. Pius x St. Matthias St. Pius pretty much ran the table, and they wound up winning CIF in Division 8. But it gets better, or in this case, worse. St. Augustine, a team that I got to see, and whose I think Troy Polamalu's nephew is on that team. They actually went 0-10. They did not win a game, and they lost 10 times. But in terms of like the San Diego section, pretty much every team makes the playoffs. And I think they were put in Division 4, which, no offense, it's not really it's not everyone's cup of tea. It doesn't have like the Torrey Pines or the Granite Hills or the Cathedral Catholic or so on and so forth, or Lincoln for that matter, or Helix. But St. Augustine at 0-10, they wound up winning CIF in its San Diego section. Those two teams are going to be facing one another in the CIF State 4A SoCal Regional today at St. Pius x St. Matthias. So it's the battle of two teams that went a combined 1-19 in the regular season and still wound up winning CIF. So we're going to see in the state championship a team with a losing record in the state championship. Uh-oh.
All right, guys. I have had it with this nonsense. I was ending early. Screw everybody else. What the hell? Okay, listen to you or stay with us. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. It's going to make Southern Charleston and Florida State look more watchable. I'm sorry.
So let me explain what Teran just said in English. I know some of you are probably like, wait, what? Man, they're giving participation trophies for playoffs, participation playoff victories here. What in the hell?
I'm sorry.
So you mean there's a chance? LOL. Pop. Look, guys, why are we rewarding 1-9, 1-8 record? How in the hell?
0-10.
Let's just put them in the playoffs because we don't. Do they not have enough teams down there in San Diego? Dude, what the hell's going on, man? I mean, this is ridiculous. How do you do this? How do you get these teams in the playoff? I mean, I'm just saying, like you didn't earn anything. And I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about some high school kids, man. I'm sure they're great kids and they got a good program and all these things, but it just bothers me that somehow, some way, these schools get in and out of nowhere they turn into Superman teams, okay, and they get a run in the playoffs. Like, I just, especially the ones who have a weak league. I'll keep on bringing up Arlington from a couple years ago. They have a weak league, and then they lose all their games, but they win 3 league games, and if their league sucks, they get into the playoffs, and if they run the table, I mean, they do. Good for them. They still got to win the games, but still, do you seriously? I mean, Teran, it really, that's like the Raiders. Damn, can you imagine that? That's like the Raiders right now at 2-14 right now. The Raiders,
10.
no,
10.
They've already lost next. Teran, the Raiders are very. You don't know the Raiders very well, Teran. The Raiders are very, very, very skilled at losing. We've already lost the next 3 games, and we haven't even played them yet.
I do apologize. I have to issue this apology to you, Larry. I thought the Raiders would be so much better, but you're right. I don't know the Raiders like you do, and the Raiders pooped the bed.
Oh, they pooped the bed. They pooped the kitchen. They pooped the couch. They pooped on the house. The
entire house is poop.
Yeah, they pooped and then rolled around in it. I mean, I don't know what else to say, Teran. I don't know. They just, but at least your Chargers are playing well, and I'm happy for those guys. They're getting better. But dude, yeah, exactly. Look at Raiders playing the Bucks next. Yeah, it's not gonna get any easier, Teran. The Raiders already lost that game. We haven't even played it yet. So I'm just saying, but that's like the Raiders right now, still somehow getting in the playoffs.
Yep.
And then imagine if the Raiders did really well and then went to Super Bowl. We're gonna reward a team and get them in the playoffs that was freaking 2-15 on the season, and they somehow got in, and then they freaking flipped the switch, and now they're going to the Super Bowl. What the hell is that? Like I said, I'm not going to go off some high school kids here. I'm not doing that. It's not right. It's not fair. But what I'm saying is
the committee needs to do better.
The committee needs to do better. You guys are idiots. I'm sorry. You guys aren't in Notre Dame's league because Notre Dame is a whole other bunch of dummies. I'm sorry. I guess that money is real good to stay independent. But anyway, Teran, there you go. Wow, thank you for bringing that aboard because now I'm sick to my stomach. But thank you for that, Teran. Appreciate it. All right, Teran, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's take a quick break, man. I know we haven't taken a break all day. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, man, we're going to do some 3C2A, and then there were 4. We got 4 teams left. That'll be a quickie. We got the NJCAA, and then there were 3. Kind of weird because one game got played last night. One game was played tomorrow. We got to take a look at, I know, weird. You got some NAIA to look at, a little bit Division 3, Division 2 bracket, FCF playoffs. Oh, they're fun. And then, of course, our pick'ems for the championships coming up today that Teran was talking about earlier. Oh, we're going to have ourselves some fun, guys. Stay tuned. You're listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Be right back after this.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we are back. We're just rocking. Let me get that guitar in here. Oh, we're rocking. You already know. We are here live with you on this beautiful Saturday morning, 3 and Out College Edition, with your boy Teran Rodriguez and myself, Larry B. Oh, it's time, y'all. We are. Peace out to Pop. I know he said he had to bounce here in the chat room. Peace out, man. Thank you for tuning in, brother. But so, Teran, we're going to run through these, man. It's kind of funny. These are going to go so fast. But 3C2A, man, this is it, dude. This is it. We knew what would happen. Let me just go ahead and say this. Wow. First things first, San Mateo just handles American River 41-7. Just destroyed those guys. And Modesto. Okay, let me go ahead and this is crazy. The NorCal region was hilarious, Teran. Absolutely, it's absolutely hilarious. This down here, I don't got the scores up there. I probably should put those in there, but Teran, it was hilarious, man. So American River, they just got beat straight out. Okay, but the funniest part about the next battle here, the next game, was I was able to catch the Fresno and Modesto game. Jared. Fresno City had that game won like 4 times. They went into overtime, dude. And they kicked a field goal. There was like a guy that's like 6'8" on that goddamn team on Modesto. Teran, he's so tall, he was jumping up and down, and the kicker was like hesitant to kick the ball. Well, he kicks the ball. Actually, no, he didn't even know he was there. He was freaking the first kick. He kicks the ball, and this dude just was like, but Mutombo, no. Like it was hilarious. It looked like a volleyball spike, dude. It was hilarious. Yes. He slapped the hell out of that ball. It was so funny. And then after that, Fresno City, their offense, their defense gets the job done stopping good old Modesto. But then guess what happens, dude? Fresno City gets out there again to kick a field goal, and they do kick a field goal. But this time, the guy's jumping up and down. The kicker just missed the field goal because he didn't want to kick it near the tall guy. So he just missed it. He shanked the hell out of it because he was like,
yeah.
And then guess what? Finally, Modesto gets out, the kicks field goal, game over. It was like triple or double overtime. Game
it was like
over.
Penalty kicks.
It really was, Teran. It was hilarious. It really was like PKs. That's a very good way of putting it. But that was funnier than crap. Oh my gosh, that was funny. I laughed very much. I thought that was very funny. So down here on these games, I ain't got time to put it in there. But this was hilarious, dude. Big victory here, man. San Mateo over American River 41-7, and then you have Modesto over Fresno City 31-28. Any surprises there in the north?
Not really. I mean, other than the overtime game with Modesto and Fresno City, but we knew that was going to be a very fascinating game because both those teams are in the same conference. So of course they were kind of going to feel each other out, know one another based on their meetings in the in the regular, or they're meeting in the regular season, and then basically playing each other again. They obviously had some familiarity, and it was an instant classic, kind of like what we predicted. Now, fortunately for American River, we all kind of figured that San Mateo was going to run train on them, and they did. It was close after the first quarter, but San Mateo, and I guess I'll give American River credit. They were only down 10 at halftime, but third quarter and beyond, San Mateo really turned on the gas.
That was a sucky one though, Teran, because it's not that I was cheering against Modesto, because like I said, man, Modesto was getting it this year, man. They really were. Modesto was playing good football. They were able to really come out and play. They knocked off, as I said, I always love to bring up RCC, man. These guys got knocked off by freaking number 5 at the time, or was it number 6, Golden West, and then they were number 1. And then the very next week, San Mateo becomes number 1, and then Modesto knocks them off. So it was kind of funny. It's like, oh crap, But yeah, so I don't know. I thought that was pretty crazy. But yeah, dude, I thought that was insane, seeing how that happened, and you want to see some maybe some new teams. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. But what I thought was I thought for sure Fresno City had that game wrapped up, dude. They really did. They had the game wrapped up. They looked like they were the better team. But Modesto hung in there, and it was a good game, man. So rough go for those guys. Rough go for them. But you know what? You can't fault them. That was a good season. They had a good season, Teran. And you know what? That's something they can totally build on, man. I know everyone hates hearing that. Oh, build. I know. But, dude, it is what it is. You can build on it. They're going to be better. If they can keep the majority of those guys together, I don't know who's going to be leaving. But you know what? There is a chance next year, if they can keep this team together, they can really make a deep run. Right? I mean, they can. So
agreed.
I got the graphic up here now. So there you go, Teran. And then, of course, in SoCal, oh my gosh, I think I peed. I'm just kidding. Teran, Riverside Community College, RCC, my beloved Tigers. Teran, what the hell? The Tigers start out this game about as horrible as you can start out a game. Teran, they were down 30-0 at the half, dude. I was like
27-0 at the half.
I was so mad.
It's all good, though.
I was so
I get what you mean.
mad. I was pissed. Riverside looked horrible. That guy Leatherwood, that quarterback that's like 8'5", that guy's like freaking tall. He looked great. They were destroying RCC. RCC could not do anything. I'll tell you right now, Coach Kraft was probably beside himself, man. But they got together at the half. Dude, they scored 37 unanswered points, man. They freaking came out and won this thing. Crazy second half, man. But RCC, it really was 43-0. I don't know why it was 37-0 on the thing, because the last play of the game, there was a pick 6, and it was a walk-off pick 6. So it should have been 43, final score 43-30, but whatever, 37-30, whatever it was. RCC won, and there you have it. And I was able to catch that second game as well, Teran. Mount San Antonio, Mount Sac versus Elko. And it was a great game in the first half, but you know what happened. Mount Sac is turned it on and freaking left him in the dust, man. And 48-24 over Elko. Elko, they fought hard to get to this place, man. But unfortunately, they couldn't get past Mount Sac, and there you go. So your thoughts on these games?
Yeah, El Camino, Mount Sac. Look, first half was obviously great for El Camino. I mean, both teams scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. You can't really ask too much. You can't really ask for a better start than that. But against Mount San Antonio, you would have needed a whole better start. But I'll give credit to El Camino. They were the 4th seed. They had nothing left to lose. They were playing with house money on the road. But Mount Sac has proven themselves that they are indeed the number 1 team. Now, San Diego Mesa, Riverside, I hate to really say this, but this game kind of reminded me of the Chargers versus Jaguars from a couple seasons ago in the wild card round. I mean,
ouch.
Yeah, ouch is right. San Diego Mesa had a 27-0 lead, although the Chargers were up by 20 at halftime. But eventually, this was kind of the same thing. San Diego Mesa only mustered up 3 points, kind of like the Chargers did against the Jaguars. And then Riverside did just like the Jaguars. They kept putting together touchdown after touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. It was just unbelievable. I want to say that could maybe be the biggest comeback in 3C2A playoff history, because I don't think we're ever going to see a 30-point comeback like that ever again. It's just bonkers right there. So that's you obviously have to feel bad for San Diego Mesa, but all they just need to do was keep the clock running, and that was that.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing that they were able to come back right there. That might be the comeback of the century right there. And RCC had 533 total offensive yards. Both teams almost had. Well, I actually don't know the offensive stats for San Diego Mesa, but in that second half, RCC had to throw the ball because they had 402 passing yards as opposed to the 131 rushing yards. So, yeah, it was quite phenomenal. And I wish I could confirm that this was the biggest comeback in 3C2A football history, if not in the postseason, because this has to be amongst one of the big comebacks right there.
Well, I will tell you this, Teran. I don't know if I know this 100% correctly if since then, but short story. My very first college game, okay, and on September 1st, 2007, we go down south, okay, at RCC. We go down south to play Southwestern, and you know Southwestern obviously in Chula Vista. We got destroyed, dude. 28-0 at the half. At the time, this was Coach Brown before Coach Kraft. He walks over to us in the locker room, man, and just tells us, guys, he walks over to us. He's had this mad face, and he tells us, hey, shut up. Tells, hey. And we just, everybody to attention. And he says, he looks back, and he's like, 28-0? We've been practicing since January, and it's 28-0?
Yeah.
You know what he says, Teran? He says, are you guys men or not?
Wow.
And then walked out of the locker room. Teran, when you get told that, we were like, okay, he tested our manhood. No, no, man. Teran, we came out of that thing. We came out of that locker room firing on all cylinders, man. We came back. You can look up the score, man. We came out and freaking we beat them, scoring 34 unanswered points, 34-28. That day, Coach Brown told us after the game, he says, I'm proud of you guys. That's what I'm talking about. That's a team that should have been here the first half, obviously. But he says, congratulations. That was the biggest comeback in Riverside history, in RCC history. We came back from a 28-point deficit, and we beat them, 34-28. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think RCC's been down like that in a long time. If I'm not mistaken, Teran, our record standed as the biggest comeback until this team broke it last week because they came back from 30 points down. So, Teran, if that's the case, congratulations. These guys now have the biggest comeback in RCC history, man. How about that?
Yeah, just an incredible comeback. That might be the comeback to end all comebacks. I still can't find if it is the biggest comeback in all of 3C2A football history, let alone in the postseason. But, yeah, in the postseason, it just hits so differently when you make a comeback like that. Season's on the line. You're getting blown out. Everyone's probably thinking, okay, well, this one's over. It's a wrap. Yeah. Chipotle style. But for RCC to have that much resilience, that much grit and determination, it's incredible right there. And you really feel bad for San Diego Mesa, but they had their chances. All they just needed to do was work the clock in their favor. But unfortunately, they just could not do that. And again, more credit goes to RCC. They were able to handle business, stand on top of business, and they were able to advance to the regional championship game where they face a talented Mount Sac team, which I think that one could be an instant classic.
Well, here it is, Teran. That's it. That's what's coming up next, man. We have today. This is it. This is for all the marbles and more. I mean, well, almost all the marbles because today is the day, man. We have reached it. Today we have at 12 o'clock Pacific, Modesto taking on San Mateo, and we have Riverside taking on Mount Sac at 6 o'clock. Teran, what do you think? This is a hard one.
So for Modesto San Mateo, I got to go with San Mateo on this one. I think San Mateo will edge out Modesto. And then for Riverside versus Mount Sac, you know what?
This one's hard.
I'm going to do it. I'm taking RCC over Mount Sac. I think Mount Sac has looked a little human in terms of their previous 2 games where they did need a second half surge to beat El Camino, and they needed another second half surge in order to beat Golden West in the last regular season game. But I think this time RCC, they know how to play a full 4 quarters. Even though last week they were down 27-0, I think this time RCC will come better prepared, because if they think they can fall behind 30-0 and expect to make a comeback, they have another thing coming. They got to play a full 4 quarters. They got to really bring it to Mount Sac, because everyone's going to be most likely be picking Mount Sac to win. But I think RCC definitely has a good shot at it. They obviously play stellar defense, and I think this time they're going to be a little bit better prepared. I think they got the ugly first half game out of the way. I think they can only go up from here.
Dude, I am so excited, man. I am so with it. Look at this, man. And let me take a phrase from the Inza report that goes, "Let's Russ cook." Yeah, well, man, this great show today. Let Teran cook. Absolutely, man. No, absolutely. Teran.
Thanks, Ralph.
I couldn't agree more. As much as I want to see Modesto defeat San Mateo, because damn it, they did it already this year. They did it once. But I don't know if they can do it again. That's a hard hill to climb. Modesto can win this game. They can, because they've done it. But they did it in what, September, I think? October? Well, now they got to do it
way well in the season.
Yeah.
Early in the season.
Now they got to do it in December, where it really means everything. This means if you have a game next week or not. And the game next week, well, that's for everything. So this is it, dude. I'm gonna, as much as I want to take Modesto, I think San Mateo is going to win it. And you're absolutely right, Teran. I love my Tigers. I cannot go against them, even if everyone else is picking against them. I got to pick those guys. Tonight's going to be a hard one, Teran. I think we're going to be out and about, but you better believe I'm going to have this game on my phone. I'm going to be flipping out. This is going to be a good football game, man. This is a rivalry. I remember playing these guys numerous times. Played some great talent on that team. They're talented. They have everything they need to win this. But so does Riverside. The same exact way we used to fight them back in the day. This is a nasty, ugly game. It's going to be a nasty, ugly game, but damn it, it's going to be a good one. So I'm excited, man. Let's go, Riverside, and let's see if we get a repeat of last year's championship, San Mateo and Riverside. And if that's the case, I think, honestly, Teran, since I think they're both higher ranked, no matter what, I think the championship will be played down here in SoCal, because both these teams are ranked higher. Both Riverside and right now, I think it's 1 and 2. Riverside, obviously, San Mateo, number 1, number 2, Riverside. I think San Mateo is number 3, and Modesto, I think, is like 5 or 6 or something like that. So regardless, whoever wins this thing, I think the North is coming down here. So hopefully, though, it's played at Riverside again.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. But anyway, Teran, so there we go. Let's go ahead and head on over to 3C2A. I'm sorry, to NJCAA action really quick. There's not a whole bunch to get into. Yesterday, is this a surprise to you, Teran? Iowa Western does it. They knocked off Northwest Mississippi 42-21. They are through to their 3rd national championship in a row. And tomorrow, we see Hutchinson and Georgia Military. The winner of them, well, they play Iowa Western, and Hutchinson played them a couple years ago. Iowa Western got that victory. Last year, Hutchinson did not get there, even though they were one of the best teams in the country. It was East Mississippi. Well, Iowa Western wiped the floor with East Mississippi last year. This year, will it be Hutchinson back at them, or will Georgia Military get there this year? Teran, what do you think?
It's going to be a fascinating game. You know, the Iowa Western game, Iowa Western's got a lot of days to prepare for whoever wins, and best believe they're going to be tuning into Hutchinson and Georgia Military to scout.
Mm-hmm.
But Hutchinson's such a fascinating team, because normally they were ranked pretty high most of the way this season, and now they're on the road playing Georgia Military. So I think for Hutchinson, I wouldn't say the pressure's on them, but having to play on the road, having to get on a plane or go into another person's facility or stadium to play them, it kind of can be a little bit intimidating, but I'm sure they're they're used to the pressure, but not being able to sleep in your own bed, I think would have been so much more of a game changer. But knowing Hutchinson, I think they're going to be ready for this moment. I think they'll be able to come out swinging as best as they could. And I think they'll just barely, I think they should edge out Georgia Military, or at least have enough to inch out the win.
I'm with you, Teran. I think Georgia Military has a great football team. I think they can come out and really, really, really come out and win this thing if they really get pedal to the floor. But Hutchinson is so talented, man. And this team has played so lights out. I think we're gonna get Hutchinson and Iowa Western again. But if Georgia Military wins, that'll be a good one. I'm gonna go Hutchinson too, but man, that's gonna be a good battle there. And then obviously, Tim, we got some bowl games here in the NJCAA. We got North Dakota State College of Science playing Iowa Central Community College. We talked about that last week. Well, they're playing, if I'm not mistaken, they're playing tomorrow in the Game 1 Bowl. There you go. Today, we actually have the Champs Heart of Texas Bowl, Coffeyville and Navarro. So what do you think, Teran? Who are you taking in those games? Today, let's go ahead and start with today. Coffeyville and Navarro. Who are you taking?
For Coffeyville and Navarro, I will take Coffeyville to win. I think they've been a little bit more consistent. I think Navarro will put up a fight, but I think Coffeyville will have just enough in the tank to win. And then for North Dakota State and North Dakota State College of Science and Iowa Central Community College, I'll take Iowa Central.
We've been trying to cheer them on. They fell apart this year. You knew they weren't going to be in that Final Four. But hey, this is consolation prize. You know what I mean? So let's see what they do. Good. Big ups to those guys. So, Teran, here we go. And we're going to have to go ahead and borrow because I just didn't have it. I didn't have a lot of time this morning. But we're going to go ahead and, courtesy of this awesome website, NAIA.org. Teran, here we go from last week, man. Kaiser, they defeated number 20 Pikesville out of Kentucky, 56-21. My goodness. Number 2, Grandview out of Iowa. The Vikings, you know these guys. They defeated Friends, 21-17. Number 16, Friends. Indiana Westland defeated number 15 Southwestern out of Kansas, 24-13. Number 4, Montana Western defeated number 14 Dickinson State out of North Dakota, 41-14. And then we just move on down. And Georgetown, number 10, Georgetown defeats number 5 St. Thomas, 21-27. Number 6, Morningside. Hey, they're not going nowhere, man. They defeated number 12, Mid-America Nazarene out of Kansas, 35-0. Northwestern out of Iowa, the champs from a couple years ago, they defeated Montana Tech, 32-29 in a barn burner. And then, of course, Benedictine, number 9, Benedictine defeats number 8, Texas Wesleyan, 42-33. Any surprises in this batch of games, Teran?
Other than, there are only 2 surprises. I mean, well, actually 3. Most of these games were pretty close. I mean, if you look at all of these games, there were 5 games decided by, less than 14 points.
Yeah.
So, 2 scores or less.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we only got 3 blowouts, which was Kaiser against Pikeville. I mean, Kaiser's still a great team. Then Morningside, as we all know, they're a great team in the NAIA. Mm-hmm. Then Montana Western. That was probably my biggest surprise. I thought Dickinson State would have maybe put up a better fight, but I think Montana Western really proved themselves. So I think for the most part, that was kind of my only surprise. But other than that, no true surprises. Like all the other games were fairly close. Heck, even the Benedictine game where they won by 9 points, that was still pretty close as well, just because that was a road game for Benedictine, and they were able to pull out the win. So just goes to show that these playoff games in NAIA were well put together by the committee. Oh, yeah. In terms of like the selection process. And it just goes to show that these games were indeed very competitive.
Oh, they were. And I love this, Teran. I love that the NAIA has just been so good. You know, they've really been so good. This is just great football. I mean, we love us some NAIA football. Once again, courtesy of NAIA.org here, /sports, /fball, /2024/25. It's a lot. It's a lot of website here. But Teran, here we go, dude. We're going to go ahead and share this here one more time. This website. This is it, man. This is it. There's only 8 teams, 8 teams left. This is it, Teran. Number 1 Kaiser, the defending champions, taking on number 10 Georgetown. We have here Grandview, obviously. Big time player right here, guys. The Vikings out of Grandview taking on Northwestern. This is an Iowa matchup. They're rivals. If they weren't before, now they are, because they've been playing a lot in the playoffs recently. These guys are nasty games. Good football here. But this is going to be a great one. Indiana Wesleyan taking on Benedictine out of Kansas, and then Montana Western taking on Morningside, champions from a couple years ago. Northwestern, champions from a couple years ago. Kaiser, defending champions. There's a lot of champions here, Teran. So who are you taking in the quarterfinals?
Oh, this is so tough to pick. I'm going to pick Indiana Wesleyan over Benedictine. I got Kaiser over Georgetown. Man, Grandview Northwestern is going to be the best matchup, but I'm going to take Grandview, and then I'll take Morningside over Montana Western.
This is a tough one for me, but yeah, I'm going to go the same one. I'm going to go all the higher seeds. I feel that Kaiser's just a bit better. They're the defending champions. They're not going down without a fight, Teran. They're going to fight until they're going to make somebody take that crown from them, if not take it themselves again. So Grandview, Northwestern, oh my gosh, this might be the best game of the day, but I got to go with Grandview, even though I know it's going to be a close one, but I got to go with Grandview. After that, Indiana Wesleyan for sure, and then it's a tough one, man. I got to go Morningside. You pick Morningside too, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, as good as Montana Western is, Morningside, man, the Morningside Mustangs have really been on one, man. So I got to go with those teams, and there you have it, man. There are NAIA playoffs there. So here's what we're going to do, Tom. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, we're just going to run straight NCAA and get on out of here for the day, man. So you are listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hockey fans, I'm Adam Kernick.
And I'm Zach Puplis.
Together, we are the newest version of Hockey Talk on IE Sports Radio, The Neutral Zone.
Zone.
We love hockey, but we also know it's not everyone's first sport. So we want to make this show as much for new fans as for the diehards.
Whether you can name all the Swedes on the 08 Red Wings Stanley Cup team, or if you can't tell if Varlamov is a goalie or the latest trendy vodka, we're here to help. With facts, figures, and outrageous fans, we bring you all the hard-hitting hockey news you can handle, while still keeping it fun and on the rails. Well, mostly.
So tune in every week as we go around the hockey world, from college to Canada, the minors and the majors, and everywhere in between.
So bring your cellies.
And your one-timers.
You wicked wristas.
And be sure to protect your 5-hole.
Catch the Neutral Zone every week on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
We promise not to pick on the Arizona Coyotes every episode.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Ralph Calise, the host of the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you that passionate, diehard Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, or just a Pittsburgh sports fan? Then please join me on the Injury Report every Tuesday on IE Sports Radio, the direct feed for all that is sports, and I will update you on all that's black and gold, and have you telling your Pittsburgh fans and friends what's up with Pittsburgh sports. Tune in Tuesday with me, Ralph Calise, the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
Let's go! Oh, we're rocking. That's another cool riff. Oh, that's a fun riff. Yeah, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, Ralph Khalise bringing the energy here, man. Great show last night, by the way, doing this thing on the Insta Report. Teran, great show last night, man. We had 3 shows on at one time. Ralph Khalise, we had Arizona Sports Zone. We had Gritsville, USA on. Like, we had all kinds of good stuff yesterday, man. Indiana Sports Nation on right before Teran and the SoCal Spring Sports Show. We're rocking and rolling here on IE Sports Radio, y'all. I'm proud of it, man. So let's do it. Teran, let's go ahead and just roll through these. We get Division III playoffs here. And obviously, this is courtesy here of NCAA.com. Great website. Check out all your goods here for the NCAA, man. But here it comes, Teran. Division III playoffs. They are here. And let's take a look at that top left bracket, man. Well, here it is, dude. I mean, St. John's got it done over La Crosse. They're going to be taking on Susquehanna, who defeated Hobart last week. That was a crazy one. We have here Wartburg, who, man, that was a close game over Platteville. That was a very close one to move on to the next round. Then Bethel, they defeated Lake Forest. They came out of that wild card basically around the very first round, so they got it done 48-21. Nice stuff there. So now it's St. John's and Susquehanna taking on Wartburg and Bethel. How about these two on that top left?
Yeah, I think St. John's, Susquehanna, I mean, both teams had buys, so they both kind of have the equal amount of rest. Both kind of got challenged in the second round, so this one could go either way, but I got St. John's winning.
Me too. I got to go St. John's for sure. And then how about Wartburg and Bethel?
Bethel's been such a great game, or not great game, a great story this season. Made it out of the play-in round or the first round, wound up winning their second round game. Wartburg, they only won 19-14 against Pattville. You know what? Give me Bethel. I think Bethel continues its Cinderella run.
I'm going to go with those two as well, Teran. Good stuff. Top right-hand corner. How about it, Teran? You already know what I'm going to say. How about the Crew? Freaking Mary Hardin Baylor, man. They came out of that wild card bracket, if you will, defeating Trinity early on. Then they went to defeat Hardin Simmons, and now here they are taking on Linfield. Linfield, obviously, they did away with Texas Lutheran, 65-7. And then that bottom part, Johns Hopkins defeating Grove City. Tough game there, man. 17-14. Johns Hopkins moves on. And then DePaul, man, these guys got a nice victory over Maryville, and they will now go on to take on Johns Hopkins. Teran, how about that top right bracket?
So, obviously, I've got Mary Hardin Baylor winning against Linfield. I think that one's going to be close. I think Mary Hardin Baylor's defense is going to rise. I don't want to discredit Linfield, but I think if Mary Hardin Baylor slows down Linfield's offense, I think they can take control of the game. And then for Johns Hopkins DePaul, I'll take Johns Hopkins. I think this is going to be another case of defense is going to have to really reign supreme if said team wants to win.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't agree more, dude. This has been rough. This has been, I don't know how to say it, but this has been a fun season for these teams. I got to go Mary Hardin Baylor as well. And let's see if Johns Hopkins can do this. So next up, here it goes, man. Cortland. How about that victory, man? Cortland defeated Endicott 17-9. And then Springfield, man, just wow. Big victory over UMass Dartmouth. But Cortland taking on Springfield now in that's a fun game, man. That's a Boston, New York kind of deal there. And then obviously we have North Central, the defending champs. They get it done, man. They are taking on Hope. And Hope, well, they defeated Whitworth 42-17. And then Hope defeated Aurora 49-21. Now it's going to be Hope and North Central. So how about that bottom left bracket?
So I got Cortland beating Springfield, and then I got North Central beating Hope. I know that sounds a little far-fetched, but I think both those teams are definitely a little bit cut above their opponents.
They are. I don't think that's crazy at all. I think you're right on the money, man. So, so good stuff there. And then bottom right bracket. How about this, man? Salisbury. This team out of the DMV, man, Maryland to be exact, got that nice victory over Kings, and big victory there for those guys. And Randolph-Macon now. will be head on over to play them, defeating Washington and Jefferson 38-24. Carnegie Mellon, we talked about this yesterday. This is the game, Teran. This is Steelers and Browns. This is Northern Ohio taking on Pittsburgh. We have it, dude. Carnegie Mellon defeated Centray 24-15. Mount Union just dominating John Carroll. Oh my gosh. This is the one that Jen really wanted last year or last week, sorry. And boy, it was anything but what John Carroll wanted, because Mount Union destroyed these guys 42-7. And now it's going to be Carnegie Mellon versus Mount Union. What do you think, Teran? Will the Giants take down the little guys there, or will the Giants be taken down by a very good Carnegie Mellon team? And then how about the Salisbury and Randolph-Macon? Got a DMV battle there. This should be a fun one. What do you think?
Yeah, that one's going to be a good one. I got Salisbury edging out Randolph-Macon. And oh man, Carnegie Mellon versus Mount Union. You know what? I'll take Mount Union in a thriller.
Let's go, dude. I got to go Salisbury as well, but I'm going to say Mount Union. They're just too good, man. I like to see it, but they're just too good. So let's see what happens there. Let's go ahead and switch gears now on over to Division 2. Some of these games are starting as we speak, so let's go ahead and get these things on the road real quick. But yeah, here we go, Teran. Here we go, man. Division 2 here. Fresh off the press, Kutztown loses a close one. Look at that game, top left bracket, Teran. Oh my gosh, Slippery Rock knocks off Kutztown 25-24. They came from that first round to knock off that number 1 seed. Now they're taking on a team from within their state, man. Ashland, there's Ashland losing a close one to California, Pennsylvania, man. 34-33, big victory there for California. Now it's Slippery Rock in California in that top left bracket. Who are you taking for today?
Man, I think I'm going to take California. I think this time I'm going to say California's offense is going to be a little bit. I think their offense is going to be a little too much for Slippery Rock's defense.
I think so too. California had a pretty good year. I mean, I'm not dissing Slippery Rock's amazing for knocking off that number 1 seed, but I just kind of feel like California will pull it together. Good game here. But good games here all across this top left bracket. But yeah, I got to go California coming out of this one. Top right bracket, Teran. Ferris State, man, handled business last week. Very good run for the Broncos, I believe is how you pronounce it. Or they say Broncos with the, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I would have Central Oklahoma, sorry. But they get that one done in big fashion, 78-7. My goodness, Ferris State gets it done. Harding, the defending champions, man. Here we go. We have a champion from a couple years ago. We have Harding, last year's champions. Grand Valley. Teran, both you and I thought Grand Valley Lakers would get this one done. Unfortunately, those Lakers could not get it done. Harding came out and said, we are the defending champs. Freaking beat us. What's up? Kind of like North Central in Division 3. And there they are, dude. 44-26 later. Ferris will be taking on Harding. What do you think?
Man, this one's so tough to predict. I think Ferris State is definitely good, but Harding, as you mentioned, they're the reigning champs. I just got to go with Harding. I think you can never doubt the heart of a champion, and Harding, I think, will be ready for Ferris State.
Yeah, plus Ferris State's already doing good in volleyball right now in the tournament. So
yes.
So let's see, man. But no, bottom left bracket. Take a look at this one, man. Valdosta, they got it done over Miles last week, 33-17, and then Virginia Union pulled out. This, I don't know if you really want to call it an upset. This is a really good game, man. 44-12, Virginia Union wins this thing. Now we got Valdosta versus Virginia Union today. Georgia versus Virginia. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'll take Valdosta State over Virginia Union. I think Valdosta State has been straight up phenomenal this season. Nothing against Virginia Union, but I think their run kind of comes to an end against a buzzsaw.
Yeah, I agree. It's a close one here, but let's go Valdosta. I know it's a tough one there, but let's see. And then of course, bottom right bracket, Teran. There you have it, buddy. We have this is a good one, man. Bemidji State. These guys got it done over Western Colorado 2019 in a 1-point game. Oh my gosh, what a game there. And Minnesota also had a freaking barn burner defeating Colorado State Pueblo 26-23. The champs from a couple years ago, the Minnesota State Mavericks. This is an all Minnesota game, man. Who you taking?
Man, this one's going to be tough. Both teams came from the first round, and now they are here. I mean, and both teams actually knocked off the Colorado school. So, How
How about that,
this
dude?
one I think is evenly matched, but I gotta go with Benji State.
It's going to be a close one. I'm going to go with the Mavericks of Minnesota State. But let's see what happens, Teran. This is going to be fun. So there we have it. Now let's go ahead and move it on over now. Like I said, we're just rapid firing these suckers, man. Obviously, I know we're getting a little over time here, but it's all good. And then once again, moving on over back to good old NCAA.com. FCS, of course, courtesy of NCAA.com here for all your NCAA states needs. I'm sorry, NCAA sports needs. But here we go, Teran. This is it. The bracket got played last week. First round, UT Martin defeated New Hampshire 41-10. Lehigh knocked off Richmond 20-16. Today, top left bracket, Montana State, UT Martin, and Idaho and Lehigh. Who are you taking?
Sorry. I got Montana State beating UT Martin. They've been dominant throughout most of the season. And then I got Idaho beating Lehigh. I know that's boring, but I think Montana State, obviously, they are the big boss. While Idaho, I think, is just still been good throughout most of the season.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Idaho's been solid. I'm going to take the Vandals. And obviously up top, that number one overall seed, man. They're number one for a reason. Let's see what the Bobcats can get it done this year. Top right, man. Well, North Dakota State's not going nowhere because they're that number one seed. Abilene Christian got a nice victory over the Jacks of NAU. But guess what? The Bison are still here. And, well, today, that's who Abilene's going to be facing. And then Mercer are looking good this year. Rhode Island got that victory over Central Connecticut. And now Mercer will be taking on Rhode Island. Who are you taking?
I'm taking North Dakota State, and then I'll take – this one should be a fun matchup, but I got Mercer winning in a close one.
I like those. I like those two. Bison and Mercer, but wouldn't it be crazy if Abilene and Rhode Island won this one? And then bottom left bracket, we have – how about this, man? First freaking time here in the FCS. They came from Division II last year. The crazy part is they weren't even like a super great – I mean, they didn't even win anything, I don't think, in Division II, which is awesome because they just decided, let's make that jump and do it now, and they did. Tarleton State was very good in Division II, but like I said, I don't remember them winning 8 titles recently. Regardless, they're here and they're really dominating. Illinois State, man. I'm sorry, Tarleton State defeating Duke, man, 43-29. Now they're off to face the Coyotes of South Dakota. Does their run end here? I don't know. And then Illinois State defeating Southeast Missouri, man. SEMO. This is a good game here. Okay, good victory for Illinois State. But Teran, we've been talking about UC Davis for a long time now. This whole season, is this where UC Davis says, "Hey, we're not a dud. We're going to keep pushing"? What do you think that bottom left?
Yeah, I got UC Davis beating Illinois State, and I think South Dakota edges out Tarleton State.
As much as I want to see Tarleton win it, I think this is where their reign ends for this year. But hey, it doesn't mean they're going to be ending for long. I think they'll be back next year. And UC Davis, this is just their year. I feel something special for these guys. I don't know if they're going to win the championship, but I want to see them get close. Illinois State, it's been a great year, but I don't know if they're going to win this one. Bottom right half, we have here University of Incarnate Word. They are taking on Villanova. Villanova obviously getting that victory in the first round, 22-17 over Eastern Kentucky. And then South Dakota State, they awaited Montana in Tennessee State. Well, guess what? Montana got that victory 41-27 last week. And now the Grizzlies take on a familiar foe in South Dakota State. Who are you taking?
You know what? Since I haven't picked an upset yet, I'm going to pick Villanova over Incarnate Word.
Oh!
And then I'm going to take South Dakota State over Montana.
Well, I got to go Incarnate Word. I think they're going to be a bit better, but that would be a crazy upset. I mean, I will be so upset if South Dakota, because North Dakota took the crown back. I wanted to see South Dakota run with it for a while, but they're not out of it yet. I'm a big upset would be Montana winning this one, but I've got to go South Dakota State, the Jacks. And there you have it, Teran. There are all those games here in the FCS, FBS, FCS Division II and Division III. Teran, let's get over to some FBS pick them for these bowl games, man, and let's see what we got today. So we're just starting off right now with some of these games. Big 12 matchup here, man. Number 16, Iowa State. Number 15, Arizona State. Who are you taking?
You know what? I'm going to take Arizona State for this one. I think Arizona State finds a way over Iowa State. It's going to be a barn burner. And something I will just say is I like how the Big 12 championship is named the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship.
I know.
When none of these other conference championships have that sort of title. So I will take Arizona State in a thriller over Iowa State.
I'll tell you right now, Teran, this is where we're going to see, and don't get me wrong, I hate being that a-hole. I feel so bad doing this, but when they do the freaking Dr. Pepper scholarship giveaway, can you throw the football like a football? Stop doing this. I mean, I guess that's like a shovel pass, but I don't know. I'm sorry.
You're not Patrick Mahomes.
It just annoys me. I can't help it. But anyway, yeah, this should be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know, Teran. Are you? I'm sold on Arizona State to be, to possibly win this thing, but I don't know, Teran. Should they have been placed a little higher this year, or do you think they're where they should be?
I mean, it's so tough to gauge the Big 12. I think that's kind of the odd conference out just because it's not as flashy as the SEC. It's not as media grabbing as the Big 10, and it's not as eye-popping as the ACC. Well, I guess I should say for the SEC, it's kind of like babying in terms of or everyone's favorite conference. Like the Big 12 is kind of the redheaded stepchild of the Power 4 conferences, but I don't know. It's tough to really gauge on that conference, but I think Arizona State, I think they started off unranked, and then they started being ranked, and then they even knocked off Arizona because at the time Arizona was ranked, and then they started taking a step back, and then Arizona started taking a step forward. So I think this is kind of like a rags to riches story for the Sun Devils.
It really is, and I don't know why I put at in there. It's versus. Sorry, guys. But yeah, no, I completely agree. This is a rags to riches story for these guys. Congratulations on a good season, Sun Devils. I really want to take the Cyclones because I love that this team has just really been so resilient all year. I got to go Sun Devils, though. It's going to be a fun one. But congratulations. In their first freaking year of being in the Big 12, let's go, Arizona State. It just goes to show you, once again, the Pac-12 was mighty, okay? You got teams coming out that were not in there before. You know what I mean? So good job to Arizona State. Let's see what they can do. I want to see them win this thing. MAC championship, Teran. Ohio Bobcats versus Miami of Ohio. Who you taking and why?
I'm going to take Miami of Ohio just because Miami of Miami just could not make it to the championship while Miami of Ohio did, and I think they're going to win the championship. But it'll be close.
Miami of Miami. Teran, do you know what's coming next right now? Do you have an idea of what's coming next? Come on, you have to hear it. Are you ready for this, Teran? I am going Miami of Ohio in this one because some Miami's got to be good.
Yep, indeed. The MO is back while the U is not. The Miami of Ohio is back while the Miami University is not.
Yeah, no you. Sorry. What's up, Drewski? Big ups to you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing. DFW Sports for Apps, man. Appreciate you, brother, for stopping by. Big ups to you, brother. Keep doing your thing. Guys, this has been fun, man. SEC championship. Here it comes. Number 5, Georgia versus number 2, Texas. Teran, are you ready for this one? Are you putting your head down over there? Because this one's going to be a dud. I'm just kidding. What do you think?
So this one is so... Excuse me for 1 second.
Oh, you're good. Oh, Teran's not feeling good. Just kidding. This game's making him sick. I'm just kidding.
No, it's actually rather cold here. It's like when I woke...
Nope, there we go again. See, this game
when
sucks.
I woke up,
making Teran sick.
Was... I saw out my window, and it was actually a little... I wouldn't say, like, frozen and whatnot, but it was a little bit more icicle-ish than normal. But anyway, looking at the Texas-Georgia match, this is actually a rematch of back in the regular season where Georgia actually beat Texas in unbelievable fashion. But now Texas has another chance to redeem themselves. And I think both these teams are into the college football playoff. It's just going to depend on seeding.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me Texas to win this one.
You know what? Why not? You're Drewski saying it here. Give me Tejas. Of course. Yeah, let's go. I'm going to say Texas too, but watch Georgia somehow come out and win this game. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I think Texas is a better team. Let's see what they got.
It's tough to beat a team 2 times in one season in college football.
It really is, Teran. So Sun Belt, Fun Belt. Teran, we got Marshall, the Thundering Herd. We are Marshall. And of course, Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. This is actually a pretty fun game. The Sun Belt is Fun Belt.
Yeah, I think it is too. I'll
This is a
take
fun one.
Louisiana in a close one. I just Marshall is just as capable of winning, but I think Louisiana having a fantastic season is just going to be on
Oh,
one.
yeah. I love it. I think this will be a fun game. Big Ten. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Marshall. Screw it. Let's see. And Big Ten championship. We talked about this yesterday, Mr. Ralph Khalees and I over on the. You got Drewski saying, "Give me the Raging Cajuns," and then of course you got the Big Ten championship, Penn State, who this really should have been Ohio State, but Ohio State was playing around last week. Well, here it is now. Penn State got their shot. But I don't think anybody's beating Oregon. Let's just be real. What do you think, Darren?
Until Penn State can actually win the big games, we got to go Oregon. There's no way Oregon should not be losing this game or should be losing this game. I think Penn State has been nice, but they kind of bumbled their way into the Big 12 or Big 10 championship game just because, well, they had the tiebreak over Indiana based off of like being ranked higher. And Penn State should be fortunate that they didn't fumble the bag against Minnesota or USC. Otherwise, we'd be seeing Indiana in the championship game, which I think was going to be, which would have been interesting just because Indiana's been a great turnaround story. And had they beaten Ohio State, then they would be in the Big Ten championship game against Oregon, and they'd still be undefeated. So I'm going to take Oregon just because Penn State still cannot win the big games.
I am with it, man. And I do not, I don't know. This is going to sound so mean, Teran, but whoever you brought to face Oregon, you're probably not beating Oregon. I guess
they're a copy and paste team. They just don't. They have great players, but they don't have like eye-popping players like Oregon does.
Exactly. Oregon, you could bring any team you want to play Oregon right now. Oregon is probably going to have the upper hand. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some other teams in this top 10 are going to be really good and may even get Oregon, but I just don't see it in this game. Oregon's so much better. This team they're just stronger. They're better. They have so much more. And he's that tea and honey ASAP. Yeah, man, get well, brother. I know it's just been the
it's not that I'm sick. It's just that it's just cold.
Oh, poor Teran. Not feeling too good. That darn cold, man. Sorry,
and the allergies are really kind of kicking my butt. So
you gotta love those. My wife is all flaring up right now too. So. But here we go, man. Last one, ACC championship, number 17 Clemson versus number 8 SMU. I don't know, man. This is a rough one. You already know who Drewski's taking, man. He's going pony up Dallas, of course. This is a close one to me, but I don't know. I got to go SMU on this one. Clemson just doesn't have it for me.
Yeah, Clemson's just too inconsistent for my liking. SMU has been such a great story. Now, Clemson might have gotten the bad loss out of the way against South Carolina, but until I see consistency from Clemson, I think SMU is going to trample the Tigers.
They are, and it's a rough one, rough go for those guys, but SMU just looks good. Once again, guys, we had yesterday, for those of you who weren't here earlier on in the show, we did hear, of course, yesterday, we crowned the Conference USA champions, man, Jack State over Western Kentucky. Then we had the American Athletic Championship where good old Army, man, they beat down Tulane. Big victory there for those guys. And then Boise State winning the Mountain West Championship yesterday over UNLV. So good football, man. We really had some good stuff. We've been spoiled with some good football this year. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, Teran, I mean, I guess there's nothing really left to say. Then it's been a fun one. Let's cue that music, man, and get on out of here. Then let's get to that fun part of the season. of the show. Just kidding, it's all fun. Any extras you want to throw out today? Teams you want to shout out? Give a year or two. What do you think?
Well, like I said, I'm going to be at Huntington Beach High School tonight when Edison plays Granite Hills, and I think it's going to be a fun one. It's for the right to go to the state championship, which they'll be playing right before Modern Day and De La Salle, and that is a great honor playing at Saddleback College.
That's going to be fun. Well, you already know me, Teran, where I got to go with this, man. I want to get I gotta get the bad out of the way first. Hey, it was a great season. Congratulations to the Nighthawks of Marietta for getting all the way to that championship game. They fell, though, unfortunately, to Newberry Park, 31-28. Newberry Park is now playing in state, so congratulations to Newberry Park. They're going to be taking actually, I think they already played. Unfortunately, they lost to Lincoln out of, I believe, San Diego.
That's a good team right there.
It's a good team. So they lost to those guys, 34-27. And then, of course, I got to show love, man, Terrence, the good old Marietta Mesa. They are right across the street from me, from us here. So these guys, man, they beat Glendora. Congratulations, winning Skyet 17-7. Amazing stuff there. Unfortunately, last night they would also play in state, and they would fall to Frontier out of Bakersfield. Rough go, man. 39-7. But hey, good years for the Marietta teams, man, and teams down here in this region. So tough go, man. But hats off to all those teams, man. All the schools around here in the Inland Empire, all the teams. Best of luck to Modern Day. Of course, talk about them next week. There you go. So that's it. We're out of here. Big ups, of course. Our boy DFW Sports Wraps. Go show them some love, man. Go check out our awesome sponsors, Planet Jerky, Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, Seal the Deal Wax Seals. My wife is working away on these right now, doing her thing. Give us a follow everywhere. We appreciate you all so very much. For Teran Rodriguez, from myself, Larry B. We will see y'all next week. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless. Peace.